The Warriors won, folks. Happy Saturday night. Your Golden State Warriors are victorious. Was it pretty? F no. But you take them when you can get them. And we have a lot to discuss on a post-game show following, again, a Golden State Warriors victory in Cleveland. A gritty win. Again, a very ugly win. A game that was nearly given away at the end. More nonsensical substitutions. I absolutely do not feel good ever when Steve Kerr is making decisions in the fourth quarter of a game, but they won. That's all that matters. Despite the fact they were leading by 13 and then Kerr did Kerr and the lead went down to 2, they won. And that's all that matters. Let's talk about it. The Golden State Warriors record is back to 500. Before I hit the show open, 2 huge positives I'm taking away from this game right off the bat. And welcome everybody again. One is Gui Santos got an extended run. We've been advocating for this guy since last year. So props to Gui. Gui for 3. Gui to man. So good job by Gui Santos. And Pat Spencer. Has he officially replaced Podziemski in the pecking order? I hope so. It's an upgrade. Let's talk about it. Happy Saturday night. We are powered by FanDuel.
Let's go.
Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. I'm your host for the evening. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild. Over on Twitter, the handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. And as I mentioned a moment ago, we're powered by FanDuel, the title sponsor of the program. Side note, I know we're in a recession. It's clear as day to me. But look, that doesn't mean you should give up on advertising for your business. It's one of the worst mistakes I see companies do in recessions is pull back the purse strings on advertising your company, your organization, making people aware that you exist and you provide a service that is invaluable for people. And at the moment, again, it could be a matter of days before I do not mention the fact that we have open inventory slots for sponsors, but at the moment we do. And if you're interested, hit us up, warriors24pod@gmail.com. Again, warriors24pod@gmail.com is the email address to hit us up, to reach out and partner with us. Let's mutually thrive and let me give the kind of love that I provide for FanDuel to you. FanDuel, again, the official sports book of Golden Days and the Believe Network. Sorry, when I get a message from the Hall of Famer, Rick Barry, I'm immediately going to pay attention. We'll bring him back on soon. He was elated about the win tonight. And again, FanDuel, the official sports book. The Warriors are back in action tomorrow. They take on the Chicago Bulls in Chicago, home of Sausage, home of Dika, and there is no line. Oh, no, there is a line. The Golden State Warriors. Oh, look at that. They're favored in tomorrow's second of a back-to-back and the conclusion of a 3-game road trip for your Golden State Warriors, and they're favored by 2 points over the Chicago Bulls. I'm guessing a huge reason why the Warriors are favored in this one. I hope everyone can hear me. Good. By the way, G4M is saying, do I still doubt Quinton Post as top 4 defensively? I never doubted that. When did I ever doubt that? If I criticized the defensive rating statistic as being subjective and not something you should rely on for analysis, but I never once said Quinton Post is a bad defensive player. I don't recall that anyways. I digress. FanDuel, again, listing the Golden State Warriors as 2-point favorites, and I'm guessing it's largely because Seth Curry and DeAnthony Melton, who sat out tonight's game, load management, is that did they still use that phrasing for resting people? Well, those two should be playing tomorrow. And as a result, the Golden State Warriors, again, favorites by 2 points. The money line favoring the Bulls, if you think Chicago's going to win that game outright, it's plus 112, and the OU 227.5, again, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports book of Golden Days and the Believe Network, which we're proud to be a part of, representing the Golden State Warriors. But again, we come to you live Saturday night, and the Golden State Warriors victorious. Their record improves to 12-12 after pulling off an upset in Cleveland. I'm going to leave it to the audience tonight to decide whether or not this was a game that the Warriors came out and won. Like, did they take this game, or was Cleveland that bad? Maybe it was a combination of the two. But I hear a lot of people hyping up this Cavaliers team as being one of the best in the East, and a huge reason why they've struggled so often this year, kind of following up on the way they finished last season in the playoffs when they were defeated by the Pacers in 5 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals, despite being the top seed in the East, despite having that insane win total, well over 60 wins last year. And the reasoning that I keep hearing about Cleveland's struggles in these certain situations, whether it's the start of this year, whether it's the playoffs last year, is because of Darius Garland being injured. A side note, if you watched the show yesterday with Armando, Laura, and yours truly, we read off an injury report that listed Darius Garland as out, and less than 24 hours later, he's playing. Those are the kinds of transactions, by the way, that usually elicit news articles, press releases announcing that a team has been fined 6 figures for misleading the public with an injury report. So Darius Garland did play. I don't know how smooth he looked, but did play 31 minutes, 59 seconds. And despite having Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, the other big that they have, Jared Allen, was not in the game tonight. But the Warriors still took care of business. Unbelievable. In a game where Pat Spencer was your leading scorer with 19 points, the Golden State Warriors victorious, 99-94. The final, they avoid repeating the mishaps that occurred at the end of that Sixers game. Something tells me when we go to the press conference and play the clips that Steve Kerr is going to be taking credit for tonight's game, even though he's the furthest reason from the Warriors being successful. I digress. But I'm going to leave it to the audience tonight in terms of who should be player of the game. Because Pat Spencer scores a career-high 19 points. Pat Spencer, I hope, after tonight, solidified going ahead of Brandin Podziemski, again, in the pecking order. I don't know what that means exactly, because to close this game, Kerr had both those players out there. Excuse me. But in terms of our FanDuel player of the game, is it Pat Spencer or is it Gui Santos? Because I'm confident about this. The Warriors don't win this game without Gui Santos and his heroics tonight. I'll read the 2 stat lines, and while I'm doing that, folks, if you don't mind casting your vote, I'll go to I'll abide by the democratic process in terms of deciding who's the player of the game. Early votes for Pat Spencer is in. Curtis Aldretti saying Pat Spencer by a hair. Ernie Hernandez, Pat Spencer player of the game. Laura Doan, again, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Always great to hear from you, Laura. Happy Saturday night. Side note, there are certain people in this world that if they wanted to be public figures, if they wanted to be entertainers, if they wanted to be artists in terms of comedy and satire, that human being right there would be wildly successful in my book. She has more talent in just her fingertips than I have ever dreamed of in my entire life, at least from an entertainment, comedy, just hilarity perspective. She gets it. Laura, great to hear from you. And Laura saying Pat Spencer and then Quinton Post. So Gui Santos not even in the top 3 in Laura's book. And let's see other votes. Arton, Broken Pieces, saying the Pat Spencer show continues. It looks like a no-brainer that Pat Spencer is going to be our player of the game tonight. Yeah, Pat, it's universal. All right, there you go. So Pat Spencer, the stash. The stash is, what's rhymes with stash? The stash has got some hash. The stash is a the stash is having a bash. Nonetheless, Pat Spencer, our player of the game tonight, played 29 minutes, 28 seconds, 7 of 12 from the field. The stat line that impresses me the most, 3 of 4 shooting from deep for Pat Spencer, including a huge one late in the game, added 7 assists. Funny how Pat Spencer can do that, whereas Brandin Podziemski, for the life of him, just can't get assists. I've never understood that. Pat Spencer adding a steal in this game, and was a +9 in that rating. 19 points, again, a career high for our FanDuel player of the game, Pat Spencer. One more time to summarize: 19 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from deep, adding 7 assists, 4 rebounds as well, and a steal. Pat Spencer, he had himself a game, and he is our player of the game. Bravo. And a runner-up to that, again, Gui Santos, who I thought was exemplary. I have no expectations for him playing significant minutes moving forward because Steve Kerr, we never know what he's thinking. There's no rhyme and reason to his decision-making. But I hope Gui Santos proved tonight he's deserving of minutes. Again, 26 minutes, 30 seconds of play, 14 points, 6 of 8 shooting from the free throw line. That's a stat that's damn important because, again, it helps the defense. It's easy points. It gives you a chance to rest. And the Warriors have very few people who can consistently get to the line. And Gui Santos, again, 4 trips to the free throw line, 6 of 8 shooting. Free throw wise, added 3 rebounds, added 3 assists, added a block, and was also 2 of 4 from deep, 50% shooting from the 3-point line for Gui Santos. Bravo to him. Quinton Post, because Laura Doan brought his name up, his box score, 12 points on the night. He was also 2 of 6 shooting from deep, did grab a team leading 9 rebounds in this game, 3 assists as well. Quinton Post also had 3 blocks on a night where he was tasked routinely with fighting with Evan Mobley, a premier big in today's NBA. So kudos to Post. Kudos to everybody. The Golden State Warriors victorious. Again, you win a game in Cleveland. They had Darius Garland. They had Spida. Dude, that's a good thing. We're happy tonight. You're not getting gripes from me. You're not getting well, they won, but no, this was a win. This was a win that was good. We could talk about certain things that Kerr did, which are are head scratchers. But Wainster dropping $5, saying this was the best win of the season. Pat Spencer and Gui Santos with tremendous hustle. Yes, the Warriors have some dogs on this team, no doubt about that. Their defense coming into this game, top 5 in the NBA in defensive rating, 7th in points given up. They show tonight why they are exemplary. Wainster adding that he liked Buddy Hield's hustle, Quinton Post defense. Odd man out is Kuminga and a first-round pick, referring to a potential trade. It's looking that way. I mean, because I don't think there's a chance in hell Steve Kerr is going anywhere. So that is the direction that this seems to be leaning. But then again, this was also just one game. 24 hours from now, following the Bulls game, we could all be feeling something very different from now. But for tonight, yes, sir, Wainster. Kudos, great post there. And the Warriors come away victorious following an awesome win. But I also do strongly agree with Ed Marsh. And again, I'm trying to be positive here. All right, like I'm not gonna, if I was gonna be 100% authentic and genuine with you tonight. And I guess I will be for just a brief moment, but I'm going to keep it very brief in terms of being real about this. There was no justification for pulling Kuminga out after you brought him in the game. They were up by 10 points with about 5 minutes to play, and Kerr just pulls Kuminga out and goes with this uber small 3-guard lineup. They nearly blow the lead. It should not have been that close. If Kuminga stays in the game, they comfortably finish this game instead of letting it go down into a nail biter like it was. But look, they won. What makes me feel a lot better about things is the fact, again, that Gui Santos got minutes because that means Kerr's actually rolling out a somewhat traditional lineup where you have an actual center out there. You have an actual 4 out there, someone who actually looks like a power forward and not Moses Moody being forced into a power forward slot. So I do feel good about that. And Pat Spencer, I mean, the Warriors have someone who is legitimately making a case for being ahead of Brandin Podziemski in the pecking order. it's I with each passing game, this is just me, but Podziemski is just not it. He's not someone who deserves the minutes. He's not someone who should be starting or closing games. He's not someone who should be third on the team in minutes. He's someday maybe he'll be a serviceable point guard in this game. Maybe if anyone out there is saying Brandin Podziemski is someday going to be an all-star, I'm going to laugh in your face. But he ain't it. He just ain't it. And for Pat Spencer to come out and earn these minutes the way he has, kudos, bravo. I mean, it's a job well done. And again, when it comes to Steve Kerr's rotations, my only sentiment to him,
you are not serious people.
And then you have a dipshits like Tuck, who again on 2 nights ago, you could have come on the show. I saw you hiding there for a brief moment, then you ducked out, calling out Jonathan Kuminga. Look, the 1 of 10 shooting. Kuminga was 1 of 10 shooting from the field tonight. That was ugly. But was he playing vital and valuable defense? Yes. Was he second on the team in rebounding tonight? Yes. Did he have just 1 turnover? Yes. He was a +5 in net rating. Again, the offense was not there for JK tonight, but at the same time, every game he plays, he's out of position. He's not a power forward. He's being forced into that position. He's doing his best to adapt to Steve Kerr's just utterly nonsensical rotational decisions. And why you're going out of your way to bash him when he didn't even finish the game just shows that you're a hater. You're a Kuminga hater, and that's your modus operatus. It's ignorant, man. There's something very wrong with you if your mind is just going to Kuminga, like it's ridiculous. Here, Tuck. No, I'll give you the link in a second. All right, Tuck, and then we'll hear just why you have such disdain for Jonathan Kuminga. I'll do it in a second. But again, if your goal is to come on here and strictly to have your voice heard, it's not going to last long. All right, you got to maintain a proper code of conduct, be professional, and otherwise we'll hear your points out in terms of, again, why you feel the need to call Jonathan Kuminga out. Something tells me you absolutely love Steve Kerr and you just don't like the criticism there. But I don't know how you defend Kerr, considering the 3+ years of underachievement, the fact that he routinely loves these 3-guard lineups, the fact that and Kuminga's not the only player I routinely praise. Like Moses Moody, what the hell did he do to not start the game tonight when he's been one of your most reliable players? And nonetheless, he gets less than 20 minutes tonight. Will Richards started the game. Will Richards has been one of the best stories for this season. He only gets 20 minutes tonight. It's not just Kuminga that I'm calling Kerr out for. He just has no idea how to manage young players, period. It's the evidence is overwhelming. We'll hear from Steve Kerr in just a minute, but I digress. And in that regard, and what I've always said about Kuminga in terms of criticizing him, and this also extends to any other young player who's not getting minutes, there is no point in bashing a player who does not have a decent sample, a decent sample size. Like 20 minutes is not enough to go, he played like shit, that's awful. If it's a role player whose job is to be a role player, meaning that's what you're paying this guy to do, come in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and do your thing, that's one thing. Kuminga's not that guy. He was never built to be someone that you jerk his minutes around, pigeonhole him into a very specific role. You don't draft a player like him to try to change him. It's like going into a relationship with someone and seeing potential in the other partner, but thinking you're in your head, this can work if they change this, this, and this. No, you accept people for who they are. They can upgrade. They can certainly progress in life and be better and make improvements. But for the most part, you are who you are as an individual, as your identity. And when it comes to basketball, you are who you are as a player. And to treat this guy like a role player, that's on Steve Kerr. That is just absolutely on Steve Kerr. And I'll post the link in just a second because I'd love to hear from all of you, period. Let's see if any sound has come down. I do see Steve Kerr on the podium. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Want to mention the start of this game really quickly. It was another ugly one. The Warriors in Philly had 10 first quarter points total. Tonight he had 12. Or the Warriors had 12, I'm sorry. And there was also this soundbite. that I want to play now before I get to the audience. This was during pregame, and Steve Kerr was asked about both Kuminga and Podziemski and their minutes, and Anthony Slater alluded to both of these players struggling. And Steve Kerr, in a rare moment, actually provided specificity as to why Kuminga is not getting minutes. And then soon after that, he started him. So this was Steve Kerr before the game. Let's hear this real quickly because it was pertinent and relevant. And then I'll post a link in just a second. But let's hear from Kerr before the game, talking about why Kuminga's not getting a run. Here's Steve Kerr.
Jonathan and Brandon have given you long stretches of good basketball at various points early in their career. They're both kind of struggling right now. What do you need specifically from those two, right now?
Well, JK, it's always run the floor, take care of the ball. The turnovers have been an issue lately. So I'm really urging him to get up the floor instead of, holding back in the backcourt and asking for the ball. I want him to be the first guy down the floor, not the last. And I think that's been an issue the last few games. I don't think he's running the floor that well. And then with Brandon, he's got to get off the ball early. When he gets into trouble is when he tries too hard to make plays on his own instead of doing what he does best, which is to move the ball and be part of a five-man group that is really executing. And that's why Pat has closed these last couple of games and played most of the fourth quarters, if not all, because he's doing that. And so Brandon needs to get back to just focusing on the things he does best.
And again, Kerr accusing Kuminga of basically not hustling hard enough on the court, alluding to the last few games, which begs the question, what about the other games before the last few? And it did make me suddenly become very observant of Kuminga and whether or not the hustle was there tonight. I did not see him lollygagging. I did not see him sagging behind everyone else. If he's getting the ball to bring it up the court, it's because his teammates are feeding it to him immediately. This was an utterly nonsensical answer from Kerr, but I did particularly pay attention and did not notice a lack of effort. But nonetheless, again, Jonathan Kuminga, at least he did not get a fourth quarter DNP tonight. Kuminga was briefly in the game in that fourth quarter, played a whopping total of 2 minutes and 33 seconds in that fourth quarter. And side note, in those 2 minutes and 33 seconds, the Warriors increased their lead from 8 to 10. And Kuminga got rewarded by being taken out. Now, granted, it was for Gui Santos, who again had a hell of a game. But why can't you play Kuminga and Gui together? I don't know. Steve Kerr has a very strong aversion to that. And the moment we have sound from postgame, we'll play that immediately following, again, a huge win for the Warriors tonight. Big picture-wise, another loss would have put them 2 games below 500. Instead, now they're a 500 team going into Chicago tomorrow night to wrap up a 3-game road trip. And then they're going to have 4 days off before they host the Timberwolves on Friday. And then they're going to have even more time off after that before they take on the Phoenix Suns the following Thursday. So that's the upcoming schedule. And this gives the Warriors, especially their veterans, a lot of time to rest. So we shall see if that helps, if it's beneficial for them. Stay tuned. Let me see if there's any sound that's come down the wire. Oh yeah, Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle already posting. So actually, a lot of people posting some clips. Hold on a second here. I want to see which one has the best audio quality. That we can hear it ideally. Did Steve Kerr just swear? Do we have a profanity from Steve Kerr? Hold on, I'm just trying to set this up proper. Apparently Steve Kerr had a potty mouth response to Steve Kerr. Let's just go with the Sam Gordon one. This one's long. Turn the volume up on your devices, please, just because this is from a cell phone. And let's hear from Steve Kerr. Whoops, hold on. And side note, the pecking order right now for those waiting to come on the show: Julian, Allen, Slash, Derek, and Sachin. What a huge surprise that the Kerr apologists yet again choose not to come on the show. The invite is always open. And in case you're wondering, does this guy hosting with a microphone in front of him have any respect for keyboard warriors? No. But let's hear from Steve Kerr. Again, this is courtesy of Sam Gordon. So, and it's going to be coming from his cell phone. What's going on here? I'm having some technical difficulties. Forgive me. Here we go. And Kerr talked about a lot of things, including this feeling great following the loss in Philly. And I think there's some Pat Spencer comments in here as well. Here is Steve Kerr following the Warriors win in Cleveland tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched this 3 games in a row where, found a really good groove, played good two-way basketball, and obviously the last game was a gut punch. The OKC one, we played well. They hit huge shots down the stretch. But the other night in Philly, that was a tough one. So it feels great to see the guys respond and come up with a big win against a great team without so many of our guys.
What did you like about your team defense collectively tonight?
We were on a string. We were connected. I thought we did a pretty good job taking care of transition, which was our number one key. They are so fast in transition. They're one of the best teams in the league, scoring in the first 8 seconds of the clock. They get the ball down the floor, and I thought we took that away. They killed us on the offensive glass, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. Our guys really battled and just stayed with it. So really fun to see them, pull that off.
How much growth have you seen from Pat Spencer, the playmaker, as a passer? I mean, he was diming people up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pick and roll threat that he brings that is, he just takes care of the ball. 1 turnover in 30 minutes tonight and 7 assists. He just gets us into really good offensive rhythm and gets guys shots and just creates really good possessions. Even when we don't score, the possessions feel good when he's out there.
Steve, obviously, he's got a lot of talent. What do you think has clicked the most for him there?
For Pat?
For Pat, the last couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, we've seen the competitiveness. We've seen what a good player he is in the past couple of years, but he's really improved his jump shot. I mean, that's the big thing. He's last year he would turn down a lot of threes, drive in, shoot a lot of floaters, and he's never going to be Steph, but he's a threat out there, and that's what it takes. You have to be a threat from the line to be able to pull the defense out, and I just think the shot quality now that we're getting with him on the floor is way better than it was the last couple of years. And then I think the other thing is that his coach realized that Pat is that motherfucker. I think that became clear.
Whoa! By the way, that's Raymond Ritter on the top right corner. In case you ever wondered, let me take off the logo on the screen for a second. Apologies to the podcast listeners who can't see Raymond Ritter. Look at that smirk! Look at that smirk on his face. He loved it. And Steve Kerr with the potty mouth. If that was played with children in your car, don't blame me. Blame Steve Kerr. You can blame me, I guess, for not editing out, but I like that. I like that authenticity. I think there's even a better clip of Kerr saying that's a little more clean, and that might become a sound drop. I want to get a clean sound bite. I think there's one that exists. Let's see if this one is it. Here's Steve Kerr again talking about Pat Spencer. Parents, if you have children around you, earmuffs.
I think the other thing is that his coach realized that Pat is that motherfucker. I think that became clear. Sorry. Am I allowed to say that, or am I going to get in trouble?
It's okay.
Okay. I think the other.
Yeah, perfectly fine, coach. And again, let's see if this translates to minutes for Pat Spencer. Because we've all seen this story a million times over, right? A player steps up and shows all of us, wow, like this guy belongs. This guy could be a valuable contributor. And then like a game or two later, he's just relegated to the end of the bench. So who knows what this means, but Steve Kerr dropping some MFers. And Julian, you're one huge MFer. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. I really like this game. How are you doing?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right, man. But let's hear from you. Oh, we got our fellow Jerseyite Jersey N. Jersey
What's
N.
up, Liam?
We got 2 Jersey people at the most. Sharia, great to see you. Julian, what's on your mind?
I was going to say that this game proves a point that I made a couple of times, that I don't think that they have competitive practices, and they don't have practices to see who the best players are. And I grew up watching Kobe Bryant, seeing Lakers practices, even watch Michael Jordan practices. Those coaches, they said, okay, show me who's the best 2 guard, show me who's the best point guard, and whoever wins the competition in practice gets to play. And when we get these injuries and the past 3 games or even a week, you see that Pat Spencer is a better point guard than Podziemski. He does not turn the ball over. He gets assists. I think he's a little bit taller and more athletic. And the fact that it's taken 2 years, because he was on the team last year, to get to the point where now he says he's a bad motherfucker. And also, you see this.
Please, let's not make this a normal thing, all right?
I don't want to people
suddenly now saying it.
But he got that from Pat the other game. I don't think he said MFer, but he said I'm that guy. I think he said. And then today he's like waving to the Cavs bench and the audience goodbye. So he has a high mode of confidence. And another player that I feel that should be proving that he is higher in the rankings in practice is Gui Santos, because you can't tell me that if you're running 5-on-5s with players and who's winning certain games, certain lineups, that Gui Santos is not outplaying Al Horford or other players at that position. And I feel that if he can wake up, this can help prevent injuries for Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. Because if anybody noticed out there, like Gui Santos, like you've been saying it for a while, Cy, Gui Santos is a big dude. Like when you see the close up on him, his shoulders are wide. He has height, so he might not be super athletic, but you don't need that in this game because he shows that he has a quick lateral movement. He makes very quick decisions, so he'll catch the ball on the perimeter and just dart to a certain spot. So if anything, this game to me shows me that Kerr has not been having practices to show who the best players are out there.
They just haven't been having a lot of practices, period, and Kerr has complained about that because of the schedule. Sharia, great to see you. What was your immediate reaction to this game?
I mean, Pat, we knew Pat was good last year when he came in every now and then. He showed it last year. I don't understand why Steve Kerr just found out, because we found out last year. You know, he's always been like that. This is not new. He just used last year. He got short minutes. So you saw flashes of it, but that's been that.
I remember there was a post game after one of Gui Santos's great games. This was a previous season where Kerr came after the game publicly and said he has to be a part of this moving forward. I remember that vividly. Him saying that Gui Santos he has to play moving forward. It was I'll find the clip so I can get the exact quote. But and then he got relegated and then it took like all of 2 or 3 games, and Gui Santos went back to the end of the bench. So we shall see. I feel like it's a 1 game at a time process. But Julian, any final thoughts?
I'll say that also this game shows that, Quinton Post probably needs to be the full-time center, and you have to live with whatever his flaws are because he gives so much more positives to the game. His defense was amazing, and I think that someone's gotten to his ear because in college he was all team defense. If you notice last year, what he got in trouble with is because he slouches. I don't think that he's he can't jump over. Yeah, he slouches when he plays defense. Like,
well, you remember what Frank Red? I don't know if you ever heard Frank Red, who I need to bring it back on.
He said he has narrow shoulders. Yeah,
exactly.
But I think the problem was that he was leaning with his chest on defense, and now you see that he's more straight up and erect. Like, play your 7 feet. Like, when you're 7 feet, you just have to trust that other players are going to miss their shots. You don't need to swipe down. You don't need to do more. Just stand up, put your hands up, put a hand in the face, but just say, okay, if they make the shot, great, go on. And you've seen that he had, I'm looking at right now, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. I think one of those blocks was actually like a double team block with him Kuminga. So I hope that we start seeing better lineups. I think Buddy's still getting way too many minutes. I didn't like that substitution in the fourth when they took Kuminga out, because the play was GP2 missed a rebound and then Cavs scored. Kerr calls a timeout. subs Kuminga out, keeps GP2 in. That it makes sense to me. I think Kuminga had a great game outside of scoring, and I think he's not a pure like touch scorer. He needs to find his rhythm. But I saw him pulling down really hard rebounds, still making the right pass, playing great defense. I'm not sure if people actually seen that great defense, and I do like that he did go 1 for 10 because it shows that he's like, no, I'm going to try to get my rhythm, try to get my shot.
And is Evan Mobley is the reigning defensive player of the year, correct? I saw someone in the chat say that. I think that is factually accurate. He beat out Draymond Green and someone else last year. The guy from was it Dyson Daniels, the wing with the Hawks, and so that's a huge reason why Kuminga struggled efficient wise shooting. Like I don't know if you paid attention to the game where he was attacking the paint and there's Evan Mobley just causing chaos. But again, he's playing out of position, still grabbed 7 boards. And when it comes to net rating, like what I always look at in terms of individual games with net rating is collectives, like which lineups were collectively thriving and which were not. And like one player, for example, who deserves a lot of credit for tonight's game, and I haven't mentioned his name once, and I think someone in the chat, Zico the first brought it up, that Trayce Jackson-Davis had a good 2 minutes. Trayce Jackson-Davis had a good 16 minutes and 5 seconds. He led this team in net rating with a plus 15, and he was playing well. You look at the team's net rating leaders tonight. Trayce Jackson-Davis, plus 15. Moses Moody, plus 9. GP2, plus 4. Pat Spencer, plus 9. And Jonathan Kuminga, plus 5. Those were the only players in this game who had a positive in net rating. Gui Santos was an even with the net rating, and then everyone else was in the negative. And those were, you can safely say that that collective group is why the Warriors won tonight. That even though Kuminga struggled, he was doing everything else, I think, in a solid manner, man. And look, they won, and he started. I'm with you in that if he had finished this game, this would not have been as close as it was. And that's why I will push back on people who say Kuminga.
He should have been playing that small forward spot that Gary Payton had. So Gary Payton has 27 minutes. Kuminga has 22 minutes. I think you should reverse that. I understand. Okay, right now, if you don't want to put Kuminga in a 30-minute role, but if he's doing everything else, and I would say I do agree with Kerr's criticism tonight, because I do not like the fact that in a half court, Kuminga's slapping and saying, give me the ball so he could bring it up. So if that's something that the coaching staff is telling him not to do, then I will agree with that criticism. But other than that, I think that
I don't think that was the criticism. I think the criticism was just he said he's not running up the floor hard enough. Mm-hmm. That was the extent of it. I don't think it had anything to do with wanting the ball per se. And do you see him clapping for the ball? I don't see that. Do you?
Yeah. Well, I would say this. A lot of people say that he looks like his energy is low, but I see that he gets excited in the game. And as the game went on in the third quarter, he was trying to get, like, he had a lot of energy. So yeah, he did slap to get the ball in a half court in the inbounds and was trying, and he'll bring it up. So I felt that he was getting hype and saying like, okay, this is my time, or I'm getting a rhythm, or I feel that I'm about to break through something. So if that's something that if the coaching staff is saying, let someone else bring the ball up the court, I'm fine with that.
That's not what they said, though. They just said it was just more about hustle. It was about here. I'll play it again if just because it was an interesting clip. Here is Steve Kerr one more time. This was before the game, explaining why Kuminga had not been starting, and also talking about Podziemski. But we'll cut it off at the when it gets to pods, because we all know how he really feels about Podziemski.
Jonathan and Brandon have given you long stretches of good basketball at various points early in their career. They're both kind of struggling right now. Mm-hmm. What do you need specifically from those two, right now?
Well, JK, it's always run the floor, take care of the ball. The turnovers have been an issue lately. So I'm really urging him to get up the floor instead of, holding back in the backcourt and asking for the ball. I want him to be the first guy down the floor, not the last. And I think that's been an issue the last few games. I don't think.
So is he? Are people in the chat saying he's asking for the ball in a full court set?
That's what I was talking about. Asking for the ball in the backcourt
in the full court, but full court or half court, Julian.
Well, I think the way that he transitioned his sentence was he should be the first one down the court.
Yes.
And then, so if he's saying backcourt, I'm thinking that he's thinking before the half court mark for the 8 second. So
that's not the vibe that I'm getting. Yeah, the gist I'm getting from that is just run down. Like he wants him to hustle down. And so I was paying very close attention to that tonight. And the only times he didn't do it is when like literally his teammate gave him the ball on the inbound.
Yeah.
Like what is he supposed to do at that point? Just shoo it away? Like I don't understand that part of it. But look, bottom line, I will say this with the utmost of conviction. I don't know if you two agree or not. Kuminga should never be getting more minutes than Gary Payton II. Kuminga should not be behind the rotational pecking order to GP2. That just should not be a thing. Like the salaries should reflect that. The size of these players reflects that. The athleticism reflects that. The fact that one player is an offensive threat, the other one is not, reflects that. Kuminga's a better defensive. What is the justification for GP2 getting more minutes, for being ahead in the pecking order? To me, that was one of the worst decisions Mike Dunleavy Jr. made this offseason, was re-signing GP2, because it's another Kerr crutch. Kerr has his crutches, his players that he feels safe with. Buddy Hield is the worst of all these. Brandin Podziemski is a close second in all this. And GP2, on the nights they win, it looks great. But this game is not nearly as close as it was. If Kuminga's getting those minutes, I will die on that hill, man. I love GP2 personally, but when it comes to minutes on an NBA basketball team, he should not be playing over Kuminga. I think that is asinine. Do you guys agree with that or no?
I 100% agree with that. I think that GP2 should transition to the Udonis Haslem role, because he's everyone's best friend on the team, which is why it's hard to trade him, because I think the front office feels kind of bad for trading him or letting him go the first time. That's why they traded back for him. And if they were to trade him again, they're like, oh, we've been bouncing him around. But I think he should just be a coach, coach on the bench. Make your $2 to $3 million and be that kind of a rah-rah guy, just like Udonis Haslem was. You don't need to force people to play just because you like them. And that's what I feel that he should say. And same thing with Horford. Hey, if you're seeing that Gui and Post are better options as big men, be a man, step up, and like you're making your $5 million. Say, hey, listen, I'll teach these guys how to play. I'll teach them the screen and rolls. I'll teach them the positioning. But like let the young guys that are physically better than you play. And I think this team will go far if we do that transition.
Like this is like this chat comment right here is just represents just how much like Kerr has brainwashed so many people into thinking like that he like what Kerr believes is the winning formula, like by saying, well, GP2 knows how to cut. Oh, right, because Kuminga doesn't, because Moody doesn't, because Will Richard doesn't. That's ridiculous. Like they all know how to cut. That's a fundamental thing you learn in like first grade. Give me a break with that. Albo, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Stop. I'm done with that word fit. It's a subjective word. You could use that to just follow with bullshit any day, all day. Like fit is such a ridiculous word to use to make excuses for playing people and not playing people. Mm-hmm. It's asinine. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Just give Kuminga minutes and everything will be fine. The only thing getting in the way of that is Steve Kerr being Steve Kerr. He just doesn't have it in him for whatever reason. He just doesn't, either he doesn't like the guy personally or he has these weird subjective rules in his head of who should and should not play. It's crazy to me. Julian, any final thoughts? Because I have a million people waiting and I want to bring other people on.
My final thoughts would be that be careful what you wish for, because if you're looking at Denny Advija, when he was finally moved to a team that uses him correctly, he's scoring 26 points per game and looking like a star. And briefly, because I did some homework and I'll get through it real quickly, if you're saying that Kuminga has never done anything for this team, don't forget November 2nd, he won the game in overtime against the Rockets, 121, scored 23 points when Draymond Green and Paz fouled out. And remember last year, Kerr did not play him against the Clippers and the Rockets, the play-in and the first round series, and he scored 33 points against the Rockets with a fully healthy Rockets team in a win. And then he scored 34 points in a 10-point loss, but he had 34 points, 10 rebounds against the Clippers. but then he follows it up and has 34 points and 9 rebounds against Kevin Durant on the Suns. So if you're saying this guy cannot do certain things, you haven't been watching basketball for a long time, because there's certain players that need minutes, need a rhythm, they need their touch, and I think that he's proven it to us the last 2 years. And if we are going to say, okay, get him off this team, be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying.
Beautiful, Julian. And you answered Antonio Green's question, whether or not Kuminga has ever won a game for the. He's won a shitload of games for the Warriors. GP2, to say GP2 has won a game for the Warriors, how so? What do you mean he's won a game? Like, I don't like because he was a leading scorer on a night where they beat the Pelicans. That's what you're bragging about. ZZ. First of all, Hamza Qasim in the chat saying Kuminga doesn't play the dunker spot or cut. He just ISOs. Do you want to know why he just ISOs? Because that's what the coaches ask him to do. Right. And in the rare moments where he actually deviates from that, that's where Kerr gets really pissed off, because Kuminga, God forbid, is using the gravity of other players to try to make things happen. And then the coaching staff gets pissed at him. He can't win with this coaching staff. And Z-Boy is asking, do I ever criticize Kuminga? I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's getting really old that you're making me sound like a broken record, when try paying attention. You're making me feel like like old school classroom days when I was teaching and students don't pay attention, and I have to say, hey, how many times have I repeat myself to you? I'll repeat myself again. I will criticize the guy when he gets minutes. Otherwise, if he's playing 15, 20 minutes a night, no, I'm not going to rip on him, because that is not his role. You did not draft this guy to be a bench player, to be someone who's pigeonholed into a very specific role. That's not who he is. If you treat him otherwise, you as the coach are mismanaging this guy horribly. Plain and simple. I don't know how many times I have to bring up the stats of Kuminga playing. When he plays 30 minutes or more in a game, the numbers are exemplary for damn good reason. When he's getting 15 minutes, 20 minutes, no, I'm not going to sit here and overly criticize him, because that's not what he's designed for. That's not who he is, period. Never mind the fact they won the game tonight. So what do you want me to criticize him for? For the poor shooting? I already brought that up. Well, you just want me to go out of my way to hate on him like so many of you prefer and desire? No, I'm not wretched like you people. I'm sorry. Hazem Hakeem in the chat also asks, do you have any idea why people are saying Jimmy Butler is going to get traded? And do you agree? The only posts I've seen on social media that indicate Jimmy Butler's on the trading block are from troll accounts that do not cite a source. There is not, anytime you see one of these posts on social media that say sources, like the Warriors and the Mavs are exploring a trade involving Jonathan Kuminga or Kuminga or Jimmy Butler or whoever, read the post carefully and look for a specific source, meaning who's the source of this information. And if that is not provided, don't believe it. Plain and simple. I'd also advise you strongly, if Brett Siegel of Clutch Points is the source of your information, don't believe it. That guy is so desperate to be the next Shams Charania. Clutch Points is the furthest thing from an organization representing journalistic integrity. Don't believe it. All right? It's called clickbait. It's clickbaits everywhere in today's media paradigm. So to answer your question, long story short, no, there is zero validity to any reports that Jimmy Butler is on the trading block. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I have no idea, but everything I've seen online indicates no. And then Hamza adding, how does Pat Spencer fit into the lineup when the team's fully healthy? That is a great question. And look, that is a fantastic question. I've been thinking about that as well, because, and Sharia, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. When Stephen Curry comes back, what happens to Pat Spencer? What do you think happens?
He sits and chills, and then when Steph goes out, he should come in. But you know how Steve rolls. Yeah,
exactly. And that is one of my many great fears, is when Stephen Curry comes back. Steve Kerr, his one-track mind, his one-trick pony approach is doing things to maximize comfort and productivity from Stephen Curry, right? And that's a huge reason why Podziemski is elevated in his role, because he's out there setting like crazy screens for Steph. His entire agenda is setting Stephen Curry up, right? Same for GP2. And that's why, and you heard even Steve Kerr in that comment tonight bring up the fact that Penn Spencer is an excellent pick and roll player, right? But that's not Kerr's system. So, yeah, I also have a very deep fear that when Steph is back, and that's likely going to be next Friday against the Timberwolves, that Pat Spencer is going to be relegated to the end of the bench. And then when the 50 days are up, he's unless the Warriors create a roster spot for him, he's likely gone. It's unfortunate. G4M in the chat adding, and I agree with this, that the Cavaliers, if Kuminga doesn't play, they're dropping 115, 120. The Cleveland Cavaliers tonight scored a total of 94 points. And you folks want to pretend that Kuminga had an awful game tonight. Agree to disagree. Alan Day, and again, I'm going chronologically or in order here. Alan, you're up. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up? Good evening. I was, hey, Sharia, how you doing?
Good.
I love when Cy clip one of these trolls off. You just have like this smirk just watching it or watching them work. Hey, you know what, man? Thank goodness we finally got a team coming off a back-to-back with no legs. You know what I mean? It's usually us, you know? And so
I know the Cleveland, was this the second of a back-to-back for him? Oh, we lost Alan.
Oh, no, I'm here. Okay. My apologies.
Was this the second of a back-to-back for Cleveland?
They played the Spurs last night. They smoked the Spurs.
Good call on that. Very good call on that. Yeah, and Darius Garland, I'm guessing, did not play in that game last night, and that also makes me realize that's probably why they got away with Darian Garland being listed as out on the injury report, because I read that yesterday, but that was before the Spurs game, and so he was available tonight. That makes perfect sense. But yeah, good call. Good call on that. I missed that.
So if you were wondering why they didn't look like they had any legs or they weren't really spry, that was it. I mean, I was watching. I was like, these dudes aren't fresh at all. And, you know, the Warriors ought to take advantage of these guys because, you know, they clearly don't have any legs tonight.
Do you know, like, because I apologize for not doing proper research on the Cavaliers. Is that why Alonzo Ball did not play tonight? Because he doesn't do back-to-backs?
For sure. Okay. I mean, these guys, this was probably a schedule loss for them. And so, you know, they didn't really put up nothing. But I'll say this, man. The fit thing, I saw you caught someone mentioning a fit thing. The fit thing it's not a fit thing. It's more of a role thing. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga doesn't have a role on this team. It's not a fit. It's a role. He doesn't have a role. And when you don't have a role and you're a rhythm guy, he's a rhythm guy, as most NBA guys are rhythm players. So when you don't have a rhythm, you get in that game, you know, Steve Kerr, he's going to jank you around with your minutes. So you probably have the mentality is like, okay, either I've been working on a few things in the gym, I probably need to take off and try some stuff, or two, I need to get some shots up now because I'm probably not going to get no shots anytime soon. And that's probably why Jonathan Kuminga, as you said, when he has that 35 minutes in him, he's probably going to relax. He's going to stack the game a little bit. That's how basketball players, and I'm a former player, players are thinking quarter to quarter. They're thinking, okay.
Don't know, Alan Day, who joins us pretty regularly here, is a former, you played D1, right?
I did.
D1 basketball, and everybody who has that experience, never mind all the NBA players, everybody who actually has playing experience, has been around this game most of their life, in addition to a lot of other people that just have a good grasp of the game, a high acumen. Like, it's a consensus opinion when it comes to Kuminga. He's a talent who just needs minutes. He just needs opportunities. And Kerr horribly misuses this guy. By the way, Wayne Sir, want to give he dropped $2, giving credit to Brandin Podziemski for that late game bucket where he went under Evan Mobley's defense. That was an awesome move. Good call on that. Podziemski does deserve credit when it's deserved, and that was one of them. Sorry to be redundant there. Brooklyn Opinion, $4.99, saying that Steve Kerr in that pregame comment made Kuminga sound selfish, but yet gave Brandin Podziemski a light at the end of the tunnel critique, and that the favoritism is crazy. Wholeheartedly agree there. And Wayne Sir, another $2 saying, beat the Bulls, get that day off, and bring Steph back. Yeah, the Warriors are back at this tomorrow. It's crazy how fast this is going to come back. Sharia, what are your thoughts on the Bulls tomorrow? Any?
I mean, we'll see. We won tonight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's my only thoughts. Like, because I still don't trust Steve's rotations. I don't know why Pat and Pods was in the game at the same time. That didn't make sense to me. I would much rather have Moody at the end or Will Richard because of their wingspan. Yeah, we'll see. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have problems with the Bulls. I mean, again, come the back end of the back-to-back, the Bulls is rest up. They're kicked up. Their feet is up. They're waiting on the Warriors to come by. In fact, they're probably, as I mentioned before, what's going to happen when a team have a scouting report on Pat Spencer? And so that's probably what they're doing anyway. They're going to add a scouting report on him, you know what I mean, because they know that he's going to play a lot of minutes. And so they're probably going to send some traps at him. They're going to stop him from getting to the rim, and it's going to be a hard night. It's going to be a hard night.
Do either of you understand, like a G4M is correct in our chat, saying the Chicago Bulls, the Warriors' next opponent, have lost 6 straight. I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's not that they've lost 6 straight. It's that they've lost 6 straight to awful teams. The losing streak started at New Orleans. Then they lost at Charlotte. Then they lost at Indiana. You can make the argument those are the 3 worst teams in the NBA, not named Brooklyn. But wait, they lost at Orlando. All right, Orlando's respectable. Then they lost at home to the Brooklyn Nets. And then they just lost at home again to the Indiana Pacers. I've heard some rhetoric that since Kobe White, came back, that's when the slide slowly started to happen for the Bulls, because they started off the season well. The Bulls started off the season 6-1, and then they've just been losing a lot of games since. In fact, if you want to track it back to, let's see, 22-7, the last 15 games, the Bulls have lost 12 of their last 15. So the Warriors might find themselves in a great opportunity here.
That's hope. I mean, would that be like the first? When the last time we swept the back-to-back?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't done that research. Sharia, I'm sure you know that, right?
No, I don't know, but I know that we have internal issues, and it sounds like the Bulls have internal issues too. So we're a match.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
To be honest with you.
And
I want to say this. I feel like when we play a lot of teams, people give, like you said before, people adjust to us. We're so chaotic, we confuse other teams. They don't know who to throw out there because we don't know who we're throwing out there. So it's a situation where it's like you really don't know what to expect from us. So they're all over the place. That's really one of our good sells is we're so fucking confused. Excuse my French. We confuse them.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see what you're talking about.
Just adding to that, tonight we saw a very brief moment. The third possession of the entire season, and it only lasted for a possession or two, with Kuminga and Moody on the floor together. The Warriors started the season with their 12th starting lineup in 24 games. And the starting lineup that played tonight, that starting 5, I'm going to go off memory, and I hope I get it right. I think it was Pat Spencer, Buddy Hield, Will Richard, Jonathan Kuminga, and Quinton Post. They had not played a single possession together before they started this game tonight, and that was partly the reason why they only had 12 first quarter points. But just stop pretending Steve Kerr knows what he's doing. No. You're absolutely right. He's throwing crap against the wall, and if it sticks, he's stoked. We're all stoked. But
hopefully my statement could connect to the algorithm. Steve Kerr, hey, chat guys out there, hey, trolls. Steve Kerr is one of the worst coaches I have ever seen in my life. Add that to the algorithm. Let's get that synced up real quick. You know what I mean? I have never seen a coach as bad as Steve Kerr. I swear. I have never in my life. And you could throw the 9 rings at me all day long, but guess what, Sharia? I never in my life heard somebody go to the press and say, "Oh, thank God we had Steve Kerr. Otherwise, we would have never won that game."
Exactly.
I've never heard that before.
And again,
I never heard it. Not even with the Bulls.
I will forever give Kerr credit for that first title. All right, he did something that flipped a switch for this team. More power to him. That was 12 years ago, though. I mean,
right?
Like stop pretending what he did 12 years ago is worth the lack of accountability, that justifying these nonsensical rotations, the tinkering, the fact that no young players ever develop under this guy. It's insane. I am fascinated at this. What's going to happen January 15th, right? Like, I am riveted because if Kuminga stays, why? Right? Like, what is the point? Unless Kerr really is out and this team's just buying time. But unfortunately, like, that's another year of Steph wasted. But like, what is going on here, man? Like, what the hell is going on here?
Hey, Si, in that first championship, let me tell you, the only thing he got right was the complete obvious, and I bet that came from assistant to make sure Iggy starts over Harrison Barnes. That was the adjustment. That was the obvious adjustment. Okay.
Well, and what I've heard from players, which I think was a good adjustment schematically from Kerr, was turning this team from what Mark Jackson liked, which was a lot of pick and roll sets. I did love those elevator screens, and that was fun basketball. But Mark Jackson instilled defense into this team. Then Steve Kerr basically sped it up. I think that was his impact, is coming in and basically teaching his players to treat the basketball like a hot potato, because the faster the ball moves, the faster you react, the harder it is for the defense to keep up with you, right? That's the whole mentality behind it, but it's also pretty simplistic. And again, 12 years later, it's not as innovative as it was. And then and there's massive baggage with this guy, which is the rotational decisions. He has no competency there. I've lost all faith. And like when Steve Kerr called that timeout, and that timeout was at the let me look up the exact minute mark because I want to get this entirely accurate here. I think it was at like the 5:33 mark. And again, it was almost identical. We were almost like experiencing deja vu with the Philly game, because you see, and the game before that, I already forgot the Thunder, right? Where you get these late game substitutions. You get Steve Kerr just like, he just cannot sit still and just let his team do their job. And tonight, there was this substitution in the fourth quarter, and the exact minute mark. Here, let me pull it up right here. And this was when hold on, I'm almost there. I'm sorry, it was at the 3:35 mark when Kerr called that time, or the 3:53 mark. I got it now. When Kerr subbed, the Warriors were up 92-82. They were up by 10. And they were actually up by 13, but then Donovan Mitchell made that borderline prayer three, cuts the lead to 10. And instead of just staying calm, your team had it. It was just 1 3-point shot. And I forgot who brought it up. I don't know if it was Julian, but that one rebound that GP2 could not grab, right? It got tipped, and it was right after that. Kerr went frenetic, calls a timeout, brings Gui Santos back, and then he brings Podziemski back into the game. I didn't understand that decision either, but then Wainster also made a good point that Podziemski made that clutch drive using the rim as a screen, basically, so that Evan Mobley couldn't completely block the shot. But still, Kerr just can't get out of his own way. It's crazy. Anyway.
Well, although Pies executed the play, that was the complete opposite of what Steve Kerr was asking for in the post game. Remember, held the ball, slowed it down, couldn't figure out what to do, and he threw up a lucky looping underhand, whatever it is, and end up making a shot. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying the contradictions are real. Okay, it like if it's execution, I guess it's all good. But
right
at the end of the day, and I'm gonna take off. JK doesn't have a role, man. He doesn't have a role, and he doesn't have a role. And he know his days are soon. You know, what I mean? So
like that's the, if you're going to play body language doctor, that's the impression I'm getting to you is for sure. He's checked out. Yeah, I hear you. Yes. Alan, have a great night. Good luck with finals. And
thank you.
We'll see you soon, brother. We'll see you soon. Billy DeBono of Decades, our former longtime sponsor. Miss you, Billy. Hope the band's doing well. Billy, if you don't mind following up, I have not seen you in pictures with your band lately. I need an explanation for that. Text me or let me know what's going on there. But you dropped the $4.99 donation. Thank you, brother. Means the world. Saying Jonathan Kuminga should not be starting as a damn 4, even with limited lineups. Agreed. He's not a power forward naturally. The dude's a wing. Pat Spencer, Moses Moody, or Will Richard, Kuminga, Santos, and Quinton Post. Why is this so hard? Let me read that again. Because Shreya, that looks like a good starting 5, and I'd love to know your reaction. Pat Spencer, Moses Moody, or Will Richard, either one, and I agree with that. Kuminga at the 3, Gui Santos at the 4, Quinton post at the 5. You still have spacing because whether it's Moody or Will Richard, they can both shoot the 3. Quinton post can shoot the 3. Kuminga's not terrible at shooting the 3. And Gui Santos isn't bad at shooting the 3 either. Pat Spencer's not bad at shooting the 3 either. Those are actually 5 shooters. I don't hate that at all. I actually love it. Billy, job well done. Shreya, your thoughts?
Makes the most sense to me. Makes
Agreed.
the most sense to me. It's so unfortunate to see Kuminga in a cage. You know, everyone else has the green light except for him. When people say that Gary Payton is a better cutter, because he's allowed to. Okay, Kuminga's not allowed to. And I noticed that there was a lot of times where no one was passing him the ball. And he was wide open. In the first half, no one was passing him the ball. He was wide open. And then when he gets frustrated, everybody has an issue with him. And everyone says he's sulking, he's this, that, and the other. Like, what is the man supposed to do?
Z-Boy is saying, and you want to play someone that is checked out. He didn't look checked out at the beginning of the year. He looks checked out when his role is not defined and he doesn't have the confidence of the coaching staff. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, in other words, when Kerr is playing herky-jerky with Kuminga's minutes, he checks out. And this is why I get endlessly frustrated with this Kuminga topic, is because I am so certain of this. Like I would bet my house on it. And this house is all I pretty much got in my truck and my dog and this show. I guess I got a few things on my surfboards. I'm not complaining. I apologize. But my point is, I'd bet all of it except for the dog. I'm not going to risk the dog. But I bet everything else on this opinion that I feel absolutely confident about. If Jonathan Kuminga just had a set role, as meaning like if the coaching staff gave him a starting job and the confidence to know that even if he makes some mistakes out there, he's going to get 30 minutes or more a night, you would see some insane results. This team would be thriving. They'd be winning. They'd look like a legitimate contending basketball team. They really would. I would bet everything on that. But instead, you have a coach who starts him one night, benches him another. He plays a huge role one night, gets DNP'd for 2 straight fourth quarters. That's not going to instill confidence in anybody. That's not going to make anybody feel good. And yeah, so in those moments, he's checked out. And he doesn't give an F, because why should he? I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Shreya, any thoughts?
Yeah. A lot of people say that about him, but are you going to say that when we got to face them Nuggets? When we got to face those Rockets? Everyone acts like we don't need Kuminga. Okay, we're on the East Coast playing these teams that are JV teams versus the West. When you got to play those Nuggets, you got to see those Nuggets and you got to see those Rockets. Are you going to be saying the same thing?
100% agree.
Don't get it twisted. This same team, the team that we're playing, the players we're playing now, against these teams on the East, it's a different story. When you go over West and play them Nuggets, it's not going to be the same. You're going to wish Kuminga was available and he was playing him.
Chosen people in the chat saying Kuminga has a set role, but he refuses to do it. Chosen, follow up and explain what that role is, please.
I mean, he got the rebounds tonight. I don't understand what else. They won't let him cut.
What's the set role, though? Play when I ask you to? Do what I say? That's not a role. That's just being a subservient, yes man. I that's not a role.
It's so clear.
Very clear. And then I don't understand.
Clear.
Yeah. I don't understand this rhetoric either. Like people like Solo Dolo saying that Kuminga doesn't have the defense to play the Wiggins role. Strongly agree to disagree with that. I don't know where this impression has come from that Kuminga is a bad defensive player. Don't get that. We will, anybody who feels that way, we're just going to have to strongly agree to disagree. And look, Steve Kerr actually disagrees with this sentiment too, because every time Kuminga is out there, in case you're not paying attention, he's defending the best opposing player offensively. If Kerr did not believe that, that would not be happening. So I don't get either of that. And there's a lot of people in the chat saying that that we're going to see a completely different lineup tomorrow and different roles. Chosen people following that up. Now it's not a set role anymore. Now it's Kuminga's not slashing, cutting, playing dunker, moving around, and he doesn't want to. Who says he doesn't want to? He's never said that. I've never seen that. Again,
he's not allowed to play. He's not allowed to play his game. It's obvious that everybody else is allowed to play their game, but he's not allowed to play his game. It's so clear.
Yeah.
So, and he's trying to clearly do what they want him to do, but then you get mixed signals. I know someone that's getting mixed signals and mixed messages. You can tell it's clear. It's clear, but you would have to have watched him from the beginning of his career till now to realize that. I don't listen to people that are just watching him now.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And he still does get rebounds. He gets rebounds. What else do you want the brother to do? He's not allowed to cut. He's not allowed. They're not running any plays for him. They're barely passing him the goddamn ball. What do you want him to do? He's at least he's still engaged and still getting rebounds.
Exactly. Yeah, it's unfortunate because they have a real talent on their team, but because he doesn't do exactly what Kerr thinks, and again, we're seeing Kerr exposed when he doesn't have like perfect rosters with the exact ideal players. Look, no GM in their right mind is putting together a team that has like 10 guards. This exists because the front office wants players who Kerr likes, and this is what he likes. And you see mediocrity as a result. It's very unfortunate. Slash joins the program. Slash, how you doing?
Hey y'all, what's going on?
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on? It's nice to talk to y'all when there's a win, right? No, this game was good. This game was really good. Somebody on Reddit was saying like this is the first time in a long time that they've actually seen Steve coach, and I'm like, yeah, he was standing up, walking around, moving around, and I'm like, yeah, that's what you actually need when you don't have Steph Curry and Draymond to just lean on. And I think Pat definitely deserves a contract. Whatever they got to do to get him on the roster, they need to do it because he is just different. But I do agree with some of the concern of when we're going to see him again, if we're going to see him again, what lineup he might be in. Because Steve, I don't I don't get him sometimes. I don't understand it. But no, like I said last time, we have a team. It's just if all the pieces are gonna be utilized well. And my only thing about Kuminga is just like, to me, he's somebody that could bring the Warriors another dynasty if they really wanted to. But the way that they treat him, I don't blame the guy. You see him out there and you know he wants to do this, he wants to do that, but he's so afraid that, oh, I'm going to be benched for a whole half or a quarter if I do that. So he's just out there doing the best he can. I feel bad for him, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because just on a personal level, that type of in and out, am I good, am I okay, am I like, that's too much thinking to do when you're on a basketball court. You need to be making, quick decisions. Like, he can't do that. You see him thinking. Like, you can actively see him with the ball, and he's, like, thinking, what do I do here? So, I don't know. If they trade him, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. But, like, at this point, if he wanted to be traded, I wouldn't blame him at all.
Right.
He wants to be traded. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I want him to be traded.
Just go somewhere so he can go drop 30 somewhere, and then everybody
on us. Around. I'm so sick of it.
Because if that happens,
I mean, good news is they won tonight. It's just hard not to look ahead and worry about what's going to happen next, right? Like if I had a semblance of confidence that Pat Spencer was permanently ahead of Brandin Podziemski in the rotation, I'd be feeling like really good. If I had any assurances that Will Richard and Moses Moody were comfortably ahead of Buddy Hield in the rotation, I'd be feeling pretty good. But there are no assurances of that. For all we know, tomorrow Podziemski is going to start again, and Buddy Hield's going to start. Buddy Hield played. Buddy Hield actually, I will give him credit. He had a good shooting night tonight. It's just very rare when that happens. But Buddy Hield, 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep. The 7 rebounds, maybe the most shocking stat, and some of those were huge. Added 3 assists as well. Added a block as well. 13 points for Buddy Hield. But for every one of these, we got just huge eggs simultaneously.
No, I saw a lot of good things from Buddy actually this game. He actually played really well, and I think there was a point where somebody walked over to him and told him to like, it's okay, just calm down, we got this. And it kind of, I don't know if it helped, but you could see like he was starting to be like, okay, I don't necessarily have to take this 3 or pass this. I can kind of, survey things. And yeah, that's about it.
And let's not pretend Cleveland is not a solid defensive group. That's one of their core identities. People are bringing up the 4 points for Kuminga tonight as a stain. Look, 1 of 10 shooting sucks. I'm not going to sit here and defend that, but at the same time, like, you look at the total scoring for the Warriors, 99 points. They couldn't crack the 100 point mark. Their leading scorer is Pat Spencer with 19. Their next highest scorer, Gui Santos, with 14. It's not like anybody was raining. It's not like there were better options or
exactly.
It's it just sucks that this is we got to deal with this for like another month and a half. And in case people wonder, because there's one chat here. Hold on, where was it? God damn it! If I lost, then forget it. Someone said that they're looking forward to when like Kuminga's traded, so we don't have to talk about him anymore. You bet your ass it's going to still be. Here's why I bring this up. One of the greatest fears the Warriors have, and I think it's a very valid fear, is Kuminga traded and then he turns into like a superstar on another team, right?
Yeah, I can see it happening.
And then what? And then all you putzes out there who hate on Kuminga, you're just gonna go, okay, now I'm gonna start hating on someone else and then just move on in life. That's how this goes. This is why I can't take you Kuminga haters seriously, because he's proven you folks wrong so many times, and that possibility will exist. And the front office is aware of that. They don't want that to happen. They know Kerr's days are numbered. They know Kuminga's days are not numbered in the NBA because he's only 23 years old. And they, unlike a lot of you, do think about this big picture. Like, they are thinking about next year. They are thinking about what's next and what's going to sell seats and what's going to keep things interesting and what's going to help us be successful. That stuff matters. Like, you have to factor those things into the whole equation. Anyway, Slash, any final thoughts? Or Shree, anything on that?
If they trade Kuminga, he will go to whatever team and play a game where he's going to drop 30 or maybe 40. I'm telling you, because I see it. He has a passion for this game that I don't think the Warriors even understand. He will drop 30 or 40, and people are going to be looking around like, why did we trade him? Because you had a coach that didn't know how to utilize him because he had the gall or the temerity to call him out and be like, I don't know what I'm doing on this team. But anyway, have a good night, y'all.
You have a great night too, Slash. You were fantastic. I want to add Hamza Kasim saying that Kuminga hasn't been good and needs a team that fits him simply because he doesn't belong in a team under Kerr. Keep this in mind, Hamza Kasim. What are your thoughts on that opinion there? If I told you or someone told you that Steve Kerr is going to be gone after this season, if not sooner, right? So what are your thoughts then? Like, would you be willing to give Kuminga up for, like, let's say, a role player, a player that cannot create on his own, cannot produce on his own? Let's say Trey Murphy. Let's use Trey Murphy as an example, right? Trey Murphy is someone that I think most of us can stomach and be reasonably happy with if that becomes a trade. Like, Sheree, would you be happy if the Warriors traded Kuminga and there was a package where he got sent to New Orleans and the Warriors got Trey Murphy back? Would you be happy with that?
I mean, I'd be happy for Kuminga's freedom. Yeah.
But you wouldn't be that happy about the Warriors roster.
I mean, I don't mind Trey, but it would be more so for me. My happiness would come from him being set free.
Fair. From the Warriors' perspective, let's say they do that trade, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then let's say they get Trey Murphy. He has Steve Kerr as a coach. For all we know, Trey Murphy with Steve Kerr plays 15 minutes. How do we know he doesn't, right? Maybe he gets 30 minutes. I don't know. But my point is, a year from now, 2026, 2027, what could be Stephen Curry's final year, Jimmy Butler, we're already seeing him kind of regress a little bit. He's past his prime, right? He's still a great basketball player, but I don't think he's the guy he was 5 years ago. Is that a fair statement, Shreya?
Yes.
Draymond Green is past his prime, right? So look at the 2026 season when the core is pretty much done. Steph's doing a farewell tour. And we're seeing Trey Murphy on the Pelicans currently. And the Pelicans are one of the worst teams in the NBA. What makes you think Trey Murphy next year is going to magically make the Warriors that much better? If the Pelicans can't win with Trey Murphy, same logic applies to Michael Porter Jr. with Brooklyn. Because I hear some people say, look at him as an ideal trade target, which is kind of crazy to me. But considering the numbers he's putting up for Brooklyn, people get enamored with numbers. But what are they doing for their teams in terms of wins and losses? You have to factor that in for next season, right? If these guys can't carry their team now, what makes you think they're going to carry the Warriors next year? And that's what you have to keep in mind with all this. I'm not saying Kuminga is going to be better. I'm not saying Kuminga is going to be a superstar, but you have hopes of it. The upside is still tremendous with Kuminga. You could picture a scenario where Kuminga next year with a different coach, and he's emboldened, and he actually has a coaching staff who's putting confidence behind him and giving him a healthy run. The upside for that is tremendous. We have no idea what it could be. It could be an empty stat. He could very well be an empty stat player who cannot lead his team to glory. That is a potential, but we don't know, right? He's never gotten the minutes for any of us to be even reasonably certain about what this guy can produce. All you can rely on is what Steve Kerr feels about it. I don't trust Steve Kerr when it comes to evaluating talent. I have zero faith in that guy. He already lost his job once as GM of the Suns. We see what he does when he has power over a roster with a clear pecking order of talent, which he does not recognize. So that's what I'm trying to say here. When we talk about trades, whether it's a Trey Murphy, whether it's even like a Denny Avdia, who I wouldn't hate either. At least Portland is playing slightly better basketball. But the upside factor is important. And so when you're talking about Kuminga leaving and being gone and being on another team, think about next year. Think about a team that Steve Kerr's not coaching. And that now you're starting to get the front office perspective on this, because they're not going to give everything up for nothing. They're not going to give everything up for a player who next November is getting people in Chase Center to boo. Or even worse, getting the wine and cheese crowd to get bored with your team and disinterested, right? Lacob wants winners. He wants competitors. And we gotta see. Yeah. JK doesn't fit Kerr. But if Kerr's gone 6 months from now, does that matter? Does it matter if he doesn't fit Kerr? Because it might be another coach. We'll see. Derek, are you on camera tonight, or are you hiding from us with that amazing physique of yours? There he is. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Si?
You're wearing a shirt. What's going on? I'm kidding. Don't take it off. You don't have to take it off. I was just joshing. Look, man, you're a bodybuilder. You're aspiring to be Mr. Olympia. Am I not mistaken?
I'm shy because of Cherie.
Trust me, I ain't paying attention. I'm just listening. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
You're not going to pay attention.
No, I'm saying you're shy. I'm saying I'm not paying attention.
No, I think he's saying he's being a gentleman, right? I think he's being respectful.
Is that what you're saying? Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I have to say one thing, Si, to open myself up. Pat Spencer is a bad mother lover. He's a bad mother lover. He made me a believer tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think we're all. It's a unanimous feeling, right? That Spencer should be the guy when Steph's out.
Absolutely, and he should sub in for stuff as well, as Cherie was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, no, real quick here. I want to call this out. Latasha is saying you can only hit the panel if you agree with everything I say. Bullshit. I posted the link like 3 times, Latasha. In what world are you making this shit up where like I'm banning people from coming on the show who has a different opinion? Do not assume shit. Do not make stuff up, please. You are welcome to come on this program if you disagree. And here, I'll even put the link again. If you feel like for whatever reason I'm only making this available to like pro Kuminga people, it's just none of you Kerr apologists ever have the balls to come on this program. I'm still waiting. Link is there again. Letitia, come on the program. What am I lying about? She writes lies. What am I lying about here? Are you crazy? Did you forget your meds? What's going on? Letitia, the link's there. You're welcome to come on the program if you want. Derek, go ahead. Floor is yours.
You can take my spot too if she's ready now. I want to see the entertainment.
She's welcome to come on, man. I don't understand what's going on there. Anyways, go ahead, Derek. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I must say this is that we won tonight primarily because we had an actual power forward and we had an actual center for the most part of this game. A keynote that wasn't mentioned yet so far on this program is that having a bigger lineup out there and having more positional power allowed Buddy Hield to actually have a productive game. I think this was Buddy Hield's best game this year. He was 50% from 3 for 6, 13 points, and he was pretty solid from D. I think that having bigger players freed him up and made his job a little bit easier. Because I think, Cyrus, you mentioned on the show yesterday with Armand that Buddy can't be productive on the offensive end because he's overextending himself on the defensive end. So this allowed him to have a better game. The only downside is that I believe that Steve Kerr was forced to do this because we only had 10 players available. Right. And if we had more, what if he had done this today? You know what I'm saying? And if he didn't, this would probably be another loss. Even if Steph was playing. If we had Steph Curry playing and we went smaller, we probably would have had another loss tonight. So this was just more evidence that we need to go bigger. We need to stay bigger all throughout the night. And if so, it's going to make everybody's jobs easier, including a player like Buddy Hield. I'm coughing today. I don't know why.
That's all right. I've been fighting allergies, man, even though it's winter, which is bizarre. Or maybe it's just the COVID is never leaving my system ever. Have you had the vid? Have you gotten that, Derek, ever?
No.
Okay. Have you, Sharia?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
So before I had my my experience with a company video, I sneeze like a normal person, meaning like when I sneeze, it would just be one sneeze, right? And you blow your nose and you move on. After the vid, when I sneeze, and this was like 3 years ago I got it, and this is still happening. I sneeze like 30 times in a row. Is that weird or is that totally normal?
No, because I do that anyway because I have allergies. So I do that before COVID.
Well, I wasn't doing that before COVID.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just think like a normal person. Now I go, and my dog's like freaking out. Like, what's going on with Dad? And like, yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up.
Do you take any supplements like emergency or anything?
I'm fine. You're fine too, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes, right?
Yep. We'll see how tomorrow
goes. I believe that we can also win tomorrow because, again, all young guys played today, so I don't think that legs or fresh is a factor.
Well, and no, Derek, you brought it. I'm glad you brought that up. Tomorrow, DeAnthony Melton's back, and Seth Curry's back.
What was wrong with them? DeAnthony Melton just played one game. He's already hurting.
Well, because
managing.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He's they're taking it easy. They're playing it safe. I mean, he lasted 6 games last year. I think they want him to last a little longer now, and that was his first game in a year and change. And they're just playing it safe. I think he's okay.
Okay, I was hoping that's what it was because I'm like,
no. It said it on the injury report that they were managing it, but also like to me, it looks like Steve's plans to run him in the ground. That's what it looks like.
Real quick, I'm sorry to take the bait, but I just want to make Latasha. Come on the program. You have been invited.
Latasha, girl.
Stop trolling the chat. Stop baiting. This is your last chance because I don't like distractions in this chat. And I'm sorry that everyone's opinions go against yours. Oh, what a bummer. Like, I don't know what to tell you about that. There's no conspiracy here. There's no like selective, screening of the chat and of people. The only time you get censored is if you resort to name calling, and if you don't limit the conversation to basketball and the show. Meaning, if you have hate speech, I ban people for using the N-word and stuff like that. If you come on the show and the chat and start name calling, saying you're an idiot, you're dumb, like just don't do that. That's the only rule here. All right. But you're also, I mean, you're borderline spamming here now. Okay. You're welcome to come on the show. There's no conspiracy. If you don't like the opinions on the show, maybe reflect and look at your own opinions and wonder, why am I the minority here? But you're welcome to come on the show. Go ahead. Sorry,
Everybody in the chat, if you want Latasha to take my spot right now, hit a 1.
And see, this is what's really going on here. Latasha is a Kerr apologist who does not like the fact that this show is criticizing Kerr, as evident by the fact that, well, if Podziemski shot 1 of 10, you would drag him for filth. You know what I will drag Podziemski for? And I've said this from time and time and again. The assists. The dude's a point guard. He's averaging less than 3 assists a game. Despite being third on the team in minutes, he's also third on the team in minutes. So I criticize him because he's actually getting a run and an opportunity out there. Tonight, 2 assists. Why do you defend that? The guy is just not an impactful basketball player. Like, he's a good role player, right? That's him. But he's not impactful. He's not doing much. I don't know why you care anyways. Anyways, Derek, any final thoughts?
I would say that Pods actually had a better night tonight because his role was lessened. And so that actually put him in a better position too. He made some great plays. He made that sweet assist to Quinton Post for the dunk. He hit a terrific, thank you. He had a terrific, it was like an underhand layup. You guys remember that play? Where it was like under Mobley, actually.
Mobley. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Mobley. And I thought he had a fantastic night. Beautiful. But it was because his role was lessened.
Right. He didn't have the pressure. The pressure.
Good take. Good
Yeah.
take. All right, brother.
That's all I got.
Have a great night, okay?
All right. Good night.
Feel better too. I could hear a little congestion there. Hope you get better. I feel him though. Maybe it's just winter, right? Maybe it's just the being indoors more. I don't know. I feel it too though. I feel like if you ever hear me just kind of get all phlegmy, it's just I have allergies too. I don't know what's going on. It's like December. It shouldn't be happening. I want to let's see if there's any sound coming down real quickly here. I imagine Pat Spencer spoke to the media. I saw him on my TV screen a moment ago. And we got to hear from the stash. That's my nickname for the man. He's got a beautiful mustache. I respect it. Let's see. We already heard Steve Kerr and his potty mouth. Yeah, I don't think you were here yet for that, Sharia. Like, what was your reaction to?
When he said that Pat was that MFer?
Yes.
You just finding out, Steve? We didn't. We already knew, Steve. Welcome to the party. So
Let's
annoying.
Hear from Pat Spencer. Sam Gordon providing this clip again, just like he did with the mother effer one. You'll see the great Raymond Ritter again in your clip. And here's Pat, courtesy of Sam Gordon, talking about his confidence. So let's listen from Pat Spencer, tonight's player of the game, tonight's leading scorer for the Warriors, and hopefully the team's number 2 point guard now after Stephen Curry.
We'll take any win we can get right now. Great energy in the locker room. Just competed our butts off tonight, so we're trying to weather the storm until we get healthy. But we'll start up in that.
There were a couple times where you were chirping with the fans. How much do you enjoy kind of that back and forth?
I just like competing. It can be cornhole, ping pong, you name it. I'm competing. So the energy was great in here all night. They're on a back-to-back, so they were a little bit tired, I think. Initially,
I love that he brought up corn. What is that game? Cornhole.
Cornhole. He said.
He's a man of the people. Spence.
Back and forth.
I just like competing. It can be cornhole, ping pong, you name it. I'm competing.
Ping pong.
The energy was great in here all night. they're on a back-to-back, so they were a little bit tired, I think, initially. A little bit of a slow start, but then you could feel the competition picking up, so I live for that.
How would you describe the confidence you're playing with right now?
Always been confident, man. I just haven't had the chance to really settle in and get an opportunity to play extended minutes. And I've talked about it before. Last year, my role was completely different. So, the goal for me was to come in and bring energy. This year, they've allowed me to kind of orchestrate a little bit, have the ball in my hands, get other guys involved, make plays. And so, when the coaching staff gives you that level of confidence, it's pretty easy to go out there.
Steve said one of the differences he feels like with your game is your shot has come along. I mean, how would you describe the development of your shot?
It's been years. I think you hear a lot of guys talk about it throughout the league. It's not an overnight process. Couldn't shoot the ball at all in college. And first couple years out, had some coaches I worked with and just put the hours in, man. I'm a believer that give me a couple years to figure something out. I'm going to figure it out. I just have a lot of guys that push me to be my best version of myself every day in this organization. So thankful for, can't name all the player development coaches, but all those guys that have put in the work with me.
All right, and that was Pat Spencer. It looked like a dip in his mouth. I love that. I used to be a dipper once upon a time. Dirty ass habit. Don't recommend it. Kids, please don't get started on that. It is addictive. And I had to stop because I always like putting my dip in one side of my mouth mostly. And then one day I saw my gum line like noticeably lower than the other. I was like, what the F? Like, this is a bad habit. I got to stop. Shreya, do you dip?
Hell no, but I dig Pat. Pat don't give a damn. Pat has been playing in the cornfields of the Midwest. He got a Honda CRV. Pat looks like he will pull up to the game in a John Deere riding lawnmower. He does not care. He is here to win. And not only is Pat like that, his brother's like that too. They just want to win. Both of them don't care about the glitz and the glamour and being chose. He wants to win. And I can respect that.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, Pat.
Billy DeBono in her chat, again, adding that the Warriors got to find a way to keep him. We shall see. But this is a good question from Curry Flurry, one of our many Golden Dazers. Thank you to you and everyone else for the support writing. What should the starting lineup and the bench be once the veterans, both DeAnthony Melton and Seth Curry, are back? And it's a conundrum. And look, DeAnthony Melton and Seth Curry are likely back tomorrow. And I feel like I'm a broken record saying this, but I'll bring up. It's easier to name the players who should be at the end of the bench. That to me just clarifies things a lot more. And I'll repeat it again. Podziemski should be at the end of the bench. Buddy Hield should be at the end of the bench. I know GP2 is a favorite. Forgive me. It's an unpopular opinion. I get it. But GP2 should be at or near the end of the bench. Al Horford, who did not suit up. He's missed a lot of games already. He should be at the end of the bench. Those are four guys. If you put those four at the end and just don't give them minutes ever, Warriors winning a championship. I believe that wholeheartedly. But Steve Kerr disagrees. Shreya, I know you might think I sound crazy saying that, but I
don't think you sound crazy. I think that's your opinion. I do think that Gary is needed at times. In certain games, there's certain games that fit Gary, and Gary is needed. So I don't feel like he should be at the end of the bench, never used. He is needed sometimes.
I'll say 11 then. Of those four, I'll put him at the front of the line. And look,
needed.
You're like the other night against Philly. For that final inbound play, he was needed then.
Yeah. And remember that championship year when he got injured with Memphis and his elbow? He was needed then. So he's needed. He is.
I wish you're absolutely right, but he's such a different player now. Like if he was still that level of elite, if he was at that level of an elite defensive player still, I'd wholeheartedly agree with you. I'd endorse the minutes, but he's not that guy. Like there was a possession tonight where Donovan Mitchell just pulled up to him and just shot right over his head for an easy three. Right. And there people are blowing by him. He's just it's an age happens. He's dealt with
his minutes should be limited and he should be used in spurts for specific games. That's what I think Gary should be used.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's go to why Kerr is fired. I don't think this is Cam. This is Quinton. Correct.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Sayed? It's Quinn. Hey,
were you just saying Hey, were you just saying?
Hey.
I couldn't tell. I'm sorry.
I was looking forward, and then once I heard you saying why Kerr isn't fired, I looked down and saw that it was me and not Cam.
What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, you remember I told you about that silver lining?
Yes.
No old guys. We get a W because like I know you love Draymond, and you don't want to criticize Draymond. But I've told you
if it's valid. But go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Draymond should never be a starting five. I don't care who we playing. He should never be a starting five because he's a terrible rebounder. To me, his defense is very overrated.
Now it is. I think now. I would strongly push back 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Now at this point, he's no longer that guy.
I would say his defense has been trash since 2019 when Pascal Siakam ate his lunch.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then every year, don't forget 2022 finals. He was so bad that Steve Kerr had to bench him.
No, you're right. That was the first time I ever that to me was the moment when I was like, shit, Dre's no longer that guy. It was the 2022 finals. So that's good. Fair. And look, a year ago at this exact time, the month of December, Draymond Green was coming off the bench, Quinton, and I was fine with it. I actually thought it was a good move. Draymond endorsed it himself because he wanted Jonathan Kuminga to get a run, to have a role, and it was working out. When Jonathan Kuminga went down with the injury last year, he was a starter for the entire month of December. He was putting up over 21 points a game, over 6 rebounds a game. He was shooting better than 38% from deep. Then he goes down with the injury. The Warriors were 18-16 at that point. So I never want to hear rhetoric that like he's a losing player. That's just utter nonsense. Never mind the fact that he was on the title team. But I'm with you. Like I wouldn't hate Draymond coming off the bench. I just understand. Like, look, to me, and I don't know if you agree with this opinion or not, but they don't win a single championship without him.
Right.
Like, I do believe that. And whether or not they need him in 2025, 26, I don't know.
I don't know about that side because 2017 and 2018 with a prime KD, Steph, and Clay, I don't think they're losing to anybody. Even with a Draymond or not no Draymond, I don't think those 3 guys will lose to anyone.
What about that Rockets series though, where it went to 7 games? You don't think he was a difference in that?
What you talking about that season? Because I
18.
think we went 7 games with them. What? It was only the Chris Paul year, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that year, I really can't remember that series. What Draymond did that stood out.
You know what he did?
Because
I'll tell you what he did. He was playing heavy minutes against Clint Capella. And I never understood it but Steve Kerr wanted to go small ball against that Rockets team. And so Draymond Green was primarily battling. But just, I mean, like, this look, we can agree to disagree. That's okay. I hear you. A lot of people are frustrated with Draymond Green. You're not alone. Shree, what are your thoughts on Draymond Green?
I mean, you know what? He's clearly digressed because of age over the years, right? But there's so many times when he plays where he's needed, if he's not like in foul trouble. You can see he does make a difference. Is he the Draymond Green that we had in the beginning? No, he's not. But you can see where he's needed. You can.
So what's your is that all you want to talk about tonight? Is the fact
No. I was at Taco Bell getting some food. But no, that's not the only thing I want to talk about.
$15 on a 7-layer burrito or what? Like, it's insane how expensive fast food is now, man. I miss the days when like poor people could at least have one place they can go to eat. And I don't know where people can go now. It's crazy. Like, how much did you buy a taco for $5?
I was thinking about the people that saying that Kuminga had a terrible game because he went 1 for 10. Are we not forgetting that Steph Curry goes 1 for 10 all the time?
Listen, do you know how hard it is to have good defense when your offense is off? when your offense is off, how hard it is to go down there and get the amount of rebounds that he got.
Right.
Well, here's
go
the
ahead.
thing.
Go ahead, Pat.
Here's the thing, real fast. The same people hating on Kuminga for going 1 of 10 tonight were the same people who a year ago were ripping him for not grabbing rebounds. He's the team's leading rebounder currently. But we're just going to ignore that. We lost him. We can agree to disagree on the fact that he's a good defensive player. I think he's one of the team's best, and I don't see that as a liability in his game at all. And the 1 for 10 thing, let's not forget how many games Kobe Bryant had where he would start games off horribly. Even Jordan had awful games. Cade Cunningham earlier this season had a box score with an atrocious shooting night, but he still got a triple-double. His team still won because he could do other things besides just score, which you can't say about every NBA player. But most importantly, he had minutes. Like Kuminga was 1 for 10 shooting, had 4 points in 21 minutes, 30 seconds. And again, I say this repeatedly, unless he's getting 30, I'm not judging an incomplete body of work. And if he had actually gotten 30 minutes, I feel confident in saying that stat sheet would look very different in a much more positive manner. It would not be 1 of 10. It might be 4 of 12 or something, but it would look better than it is now. And I'm confident that the Warriors win by a bigger margin. The Kuminga hate just sucks. It just sucks. Anyways, Shri, any thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. But, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But
unfortunately,
to me, it's clear. It's to the point where I just want him to go to another team so he could just explode and excel somewhere where he's appreciated.
I hear you. And Solo Dolo in the chat saying JK is just not that guy to me. Look, he might not be. My entire point has never been like, I think Kuminga is going to be amazing. My entire point has always been, you don't treat a player with his potential the way you do with the minutes. You don't go herky jerky. I've been a professor for 15 years, and I've learned a few things along the way with this experience. Chief among them, and there's a lot of work that has been put into this in terms of research, is when it comes to teaching methodologies. And I would think this is typically common sense, but it ain't common sense to Steve Kerr. The most effective teaching methodology is practice, practicum, is actually doing what you're trying to master and not observing. You're never going to be good at something by watching lectures. You're only going to be good at it by actually doing it over and over and over again and gaining experience. And these young players, they're never going to reach anywhere near their potential if they're not being given minutes. That has been my entire argument. And then, and Steve Kerr, in his mind, I'm guessing he thinks, well, if I give this guy minutes, it's going to be detrimental to the team. And that's where we can strongly agree to disagree because, again, I've said this stat line repeatedly. When he plays 30 minutes or more, he's putting up fantastic numbers. That includes a positive net rating for you net rating nerds out there. And the team is well above 500, winning games in the process. There is no detriment to him playing more. It's just Steve Kerr's not comfortable with that idea.
And there's nothing worse than seeing the rest of the league that has young players on their teams, utilizing them and giving them the green light and letting them go and seeing them develop and blossom. And we're the only team that's still struggling with that.
Hamza Kasim, who has a million questions, and I actually love that, is asking if I was defending Jimmy Butler for underperforming against the Wolves in the postseason last year. He was hurt, so I wasn't overly critical, but I wasn't sitting here defending his play either. But that fall he took in the Rocket series clearly had an impact on him. That's it. I'm not going to sit here and say he played fine. I don't think he was great by any means, but I also don't know how bad that injury was. And maybe that had an impact, but who knows? What do you think, Sharia, on Jimmy Butler's postseason performance?
I mean, he was hurt. Remember, that was around the time when Kuminga wasn't being used properly, which means if Kuminga's not used, guess what? We have to use Jimmy more, and we have to use our stars more when you don't play Kuminga. So, and they're old as hell, so they're going to get hurt. So you have that. And
A-Rod in our chat saying if Kuminga was that good, he would be in the game. And again, this is where we can agree to disagree, because that premise is based on Steve Kerr's judgment, and I don't trust his judgment. So we will agree to disagree on that opinion. I don't see him whining either. I mean, he complained once 2.5 years ago. I thought the complaint was justified as well. It was almost 3 years ago now. I mean, in case you folks forgot the context of him coming out publicly complaining, and side note, Moses Moody did the exact same thing within 24 hours. It was because he got DNP'd in the second half of a game that the Nuggets came back from down 20 points. That ended with Nikola Jokic hitting a game winner, and Kuminga just rotted on the bench for the second half of that game. And he came out afterwards and was like, I'm over this. Like, what is going on here? Keep in mind, Kuminga was also playing for a contract. So he was like, part of his gripe was, dude, I want opportunities here, and I'm an NBA player. I want to get paid. I don't think every NBA player wants to get paid. So I'm not going to pretend that's a bad thing. But and A-Rod saying Moody will do what the team asks. Well, so does Kuminga. And again, Moody did publicly complain. So if whining is your issue, but yet you're defending Moody, now you're being hypocritical. Moody also asked for a trade because he did not like the way he was being treated as well. If every player that leaves the Warriors, they all universally gripe about how they were used.
Right.
All of them. It's crazy. It's just that I just don't get the defense of Steve Kerr. I don't. It's let's go to Devil in Limbo, who always brings some interesting commentary to the show. You're joining us from Southern California, correct?
Hey, that's right. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? It's not like buzzy or anything like that. Is it clear?
I'm never sure of anything in life, but to the best of my knowledge, I'm sure.
Okay, I just want to double check because last time or I think I heard back, like I listened to it and it sounded horribly.
No, you sound clear. You're good. What's up?
Okay, yeah. So because if that was the case, like you can skip me. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Y'all seem to be TRP seems to be all right, doing all,
Oh, now you're
happy
getting
about the win.
now you're getting staticky, but we can still hear you. We can still hear you. Before it gets worse, spit your takes, please. Tell us what's on your mind.
Well, I think, I mean, every time I hear this thing about like the potential of Kuminga and his ceiling and what he's going to do post Warriors, if he's going to stay, all these things, I can't help but think about what like Steve Kerr's vision for him, because I am kind of starting to see it, like I'm starting to see Kerr's vision for Kuminga.
I didn't know there was a vision. I was going to say there is no vision, but enlighten us. What is the vision that
yeah, I think and I started to kind of study this a little bit because of something that Armando mentioned, which was that he said something really interesting to me, that one of the reasons Kuminga probably took time off for his knee is to get it strengthened and to get more more conditioning. And maybe coaches were working with him on that. I think that, and now today, hearing everything that I'm hearing from a lot of people, and including in this program about him, I can't help but think that it's now really up to Kuminga and what he wants. Do you really want to stay 2 years figuring out this? Because, okay, before I go there, I wanted to just establish that the vision that Kerr has is for him to play the center in the small death lineup. That's his vision. And I'm totally okay with that. So I really imagine Kuminga at the 5, Draymond, and 3 guards. And interchangeably between Draymond and Jimmy. Because I know that those 3 are working together. Like I know that they are. I know that, like, because they really, I think they're really sincere about liking him. I think Draymond is very sincere when he said in his own show, in his own program, that JK is someone that is always showing up. He's one of the hardest, athletes, one of the hardest players on the team. That like what he said has nothing to do with him at all. Like during that press conference about having agendas. I actually personally think that the whole agenda thing was about Trace Jackson Davis, because after that, because he was the worst player on that game. he had like 5 turnovers in like a minute. So that was like ridiculous. So I don't blame Draymond for being like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, does he have an agenda? Like, does he forget like what fucking team he plays? Anyway, but yeah, JK. So I really think that it's really up to him. It's really up to him whether he wants to be going to another team and play the forward role permanently and do that. And because this becomes about, okay, I think for Kuminga, he's like, yo, I fucking love a challenge, because here you have a guy on the team who is also one of my favorite players, and I just found out that it's also your side, and that's Draymond.
Okay.
I find the whole thing between Draymond and Kenyon Martin extremely interesting, like fascinating to me. Like that's like has been one of the most fascinating beefs that has existed. I think this has ignited Draymond. Like, I think ever since then, like Draymond, like has been playing so well. Like he's been shooting the three. He's been fearless about shooting it. He fucking hits them at like the right moments. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the whole foot thing, whatever. Look, it's a good thing. He's maybe, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, the whole thing between that is that, like, yo, when I was growing up, I thought Kenyon Martin was a fucking beast. Like, he was a fucking man. Like, I saw him in Cincinnati. I was like, whoa.
Pick. Yeah, he was a former top pick.
Yeah, he was a fucking #1 pick, bro. Like, this guy was insane. Yeah. He was literally like, his own Pat Spencer. Like, I am, you know what I mean? Like, he was that guy, right? And then like Draymond. Here's the thing about what his whole point about this, and I think it was like kind of a misunderstanding. Like Kenyon was just saying that like he just doesn't think that like Draymond is necessarily a like dead on power forward. He just thinks that like Draymond is more of like a type of glue guy on the team or something like that. And I don't think Draymond likes hearing that he is necessarily a glue guy. Draymond's thing about him becoming a first ballot Hall of Famer is that he has his own role. Like he created his own role. So I think for Jonathan Kuminga, he has this mentor. He's seeing like, okay, I can sort of create my own role in this league too. Like I can kind of figure it out. You know what I mean? Like maybe I can be this hybrid forward center as well. You know what I mean? Like why not? Right. And I think this is the stubbornness of Kuminga, and we have to accept that this motherfucker is stubborn. Like some of the great players have always been. I mean, his favorite player is Kobe. That motherfucker was so stubborn. Holy fuck, one of the most stubborn players.
Little less F words, please. Can you just slow the F words a tiny bit? I just don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. It's okay. You're rolling. Keep going.
Yeah, and so the stubbornness for him is this whole thing about him like being a dominant fast break player and him asking for the ball. You see how like ridiculous and like and silly people that like have this like JK thing is like, see, he's asking for the ball. See, he's asking for the ball. He's not running down like Kerr is saying. See, like or pointing things out like that. It's hilarious to me because like. Well, I mean, I get it. He's kind of stubborn, bro. He thinks Kuminga seems like, oh, I need the ball right now. I'm gonna take it. Like, I don't know. That's Kuminga. What are you gonna do? Like Kerr's probably said to him, like, hey man, hey, you have to run down as fast as you can, catch that thing. And Kuminga's like, yeah. And then he just sees it different. No, give me the ball. I can take it down, and then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe because I see, okay, tactically, Kerr is like, no, he needs to like test, like it's tactics, man. Like you hit down there, run because you cannot run it. That's the thing. That's why the vision of Kerr is if this effort becomes the center of vision, the ultimate death squad, right?
Right.
This center that can run down everybody. If the bigger center on the other team is guarding him, he is going to outrun them all day, every day. And it's up to Kuminga to want to do that. Like, do you want to do that? Do you want to be that type of, because that requires really being the big man. That requires really being, like, as Lil Wayne calls it, being overdosed on confidence. You know what I mean? And I think that Kuminga should listen to Lil Wayne a lot, like early Lil Wayne. Just like listen to it while you're shooting, like get that thing in there, like you know, like you need that early Lil Wayne in your life, like get that, like yes, you know, do it when you're like going through your dunking drills, like all of that. When you're defending, get that Lil Wayne in there. I don't know about old Lil Wayne, especially with the collaboration with DJ Khaled. I don't know about that.
Yeah, the old one, forget that. Yeah, the new one.
That's my rant. I hope I didn't sound buzzy. I apologize to the listeners.
You're
y'all are awesome.
Dude, no, you were nailing it. The chat's just been like they want more.
Oh, really? No way. What? I will say this, chat. Just so you understand how stubborn Kobe Bryant was, and I talk about this game a lot because I recently watched it. I think it's like the second time I watched it. It was like the first time he ever played the Bulls, you know, because it's like on YouTube and it's viewed a lot. And yeah, I mean, you can just see it. He comes off the bench so confident, and he has to guard MJ. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, your dad wasn't even that good, bro. Like, okay, let's get that clear. Like his dad was like, all right, like he's the Laker, but he wasn't like Magic or anything like that, you know? Like him being a nepo baby, you can't even make that excuse for Bryant. Like he just literally like showed up out of nowhere and became this incredible player, like towards the bitter end, right? Like, and he was just so fearless, and he just didn't care about his turnovers. He didn't care about like, oh, you're hogging the ball. He didn't care about that. Like he still like managed to win 2 rings without Shaq, and he let Shaq know about that. And that's, you know, that's all Kobe cared about in the end. It was like, oh, he's okay. No, I have to get more rings than the big guy. Like, I cannot believe he said this. And that was enough for him. Like I think he was like, oh, I could probably get another like 6th or maybe 7th ring, but like if the big guy gets another ring, then maybe I have to. But you know how the NBA is. Like, it got harder and harder. I think we can all agree that like it is faster, and that's what I'm saying. Kuminga is extremely fast player, and you know he can outrun everybody. If you have Pat Spencer, Steph Curry, you can interchange between Moody. Oh, I also want to talk about Buddy. My God, this is my dog. Okay, like I've been having some problems with Buddy, just like everybody else, you know. And here's why. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck, man. Like I feel bad for him because like if I'm Mike Dunleavy, I'm just thinking I got to trade this guy. I don't know what is this. You know what I mean? But
yes,
if I'm like, you know, if I'm like a fan of like hooping and everything, which I am, and I love hoopers. Man, this guy shows up. I'm sorry, but this guy shows up every night, bro. He is not taking it easy out there.
Every night.
Like he's trying to get in people's faces. He's trying to bother people on the ball. Like I think he really is taking. Because here's the thing: I don't think he's ever been this type of player. He shows up every game, every season, right? He plays every game. He's very durable, just like a Mikal. What's that guy? Mikal Bridges. Plays it. I think we should. Oh my God, we need players like that. This is what I don't understand. If you want to play this small ball thing in the NBA, you need players like Mikal Bridges who plays it every day. And even though I was like, because here's the thing. I agree with Armando, and I've kind of seen this like 2 years ago. I used to have this argument with one of my best friends in SF. He still lives in the Bay Area, and we have this argument every year, like before You know what I mean? Just like everybody in the chat or whatever, we're going on. And I say, like, listen, bro, it's Steve Kerr. If he's going to run the small ball, we need someone like Mikal Bridges. He's like, and he says the same, like a lot of like the synonymous things like everybody else, like, oh, well, no, but you know, he doesn't have that mid-range shots. Like, what the you talking about mid-range? Who cares about that? No, but he also doesn't have a corner three. Like, he plays every game, man. Like, you know how valuable that is?
Yeah.
But he plays every game. He's very durable. But yeah, now he's like, wait. It's like, just imagine in his what is it, Bahamian accent, in taking in the instructions of this coaching staff led by Kerr. Like, wait, I have to play defense and like get like in guarding positions like this and that, do this and that. My God, like, you know what I mean? They're getting this guy to fucking hustle, get squats. Like, you got to get more. Like, wait, 200 squats? I got to do what squats during this? Like, wait, what? Like, but he's doing it. He's going out there, you know, like keeping up with the young guys, because that's the thing. He is like the mid senior guy on the team, and he's keeping up with those young guys, like running up and down with them, showing up that he can hustle and like be a bother on the ball, you know, like, yeah, no, like this guy is getting there. And I think, you know, that's the thing. Like, I listened to Steve Kerr on the Tom show, and I love how like it's really interesting that you worked with him, Sai. There's a certain way that like Tom sort of knows how to push Kerr, you know, like, and we get like certain sensibilities from Kerr that we probably won't see in like different interviews or whatever. And so there is a little bit of sincerity when he does discuss, like, I feel like he's worried about how long, like, I think he is really worried about, like, wait, how could somebody like Armando, like, figure me out like this? This is, like, not good. This is BS, because, like, that means the entire NBA has no way. And so, yeah, like, the conversations are getting a little bit more in the area of, like, because you know, it's his last year. Maybe he'll extend, maybe not. So I think it's like becoming real talk. I'm not necessarily I'm not trying to justify his side, but I am justifying the potential vision that he has for where JK can transform into. Because yeah, he's 23, and this isn't an MJ league. This isn't a Kobe Bryant league. This is now a hybrid type of league of like, what the hell kind of a player are you? I mean, let's take a look at Amin Thompson and the Rockets. Like, wait, what? How do you take? He's a point guard? He plays like a forward. Like, what is this? And he defends like a forward. He defends like a power forward, but he runs point. Like, that's crazy. That type of hybrid positioning is, you know, that, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't like when haters of Kuminga say like, oh, but like he's 6 years behind. He's like a 16-year-old player, and that's so not true. I'm sorry, but I remember when I was 16 years old, and like we didn't have anybody on the team that could dunk the ball. So if we had anybody like Kuminga, like dunking the ball at 16 years old, we probably would have won like everything in the state. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like he probably would have been the next LeBron. I'm pretty sure that LeBron, when he was 16, like that's what he did. So how dare anybody say that and say like, oh, like he's behind like that, and like, oh, like look at that. See, like like Gui Santos is taking Kuminga's minutes. Like, that's an insult, man. That's not. I don't think that's what's going on. I think Gui Santos deserves like every single one of his minutes. And if Gui Santos and Kuminga play together, I think that might be what's coming next.
That's it?
Sorry, bro. I got the Oscar music, so I think I went a little longer.
That was fire. That was I don't know. I mean, we did lose some people in the audience, but I feel like that was worth it. Bravo, because people can always fast forward in case they lost you. Incredible. Devil, I have no clue what you're doing tonight, but whatever it is,
Oh man, I went out last night and I am just gonna take it easy. So I'm just chilling in tonight.
This is your take it easy room.
Yeah, exactly. Like
All right.
I'm having. I just had some dinner. I cooked up.
What'd you have for dinner?
And I was listening to y'all. I had some fried plantains, baked potatoes. I had some pusas.
You're a vegan, I'm guessing?
You know,
no judgment.
Yes, sir.
The respect.
Yes, sir. But I'm not going to politicize any of that. You know what I mean?
I'm not asking.
Shout out to all my leather wearing people out there.
Stop, Devil. You were on fire. I love every unique, eccentric personality out there for bringing spice to life. There's never enough. AJ, we got two more folks, and then we'll wrap it up. AJ, we got you. There he is, joining us from Oakland, California. Last time you were on the show, you had a Warriors shirt. What's your shirt this time? It says pickles and rye.
Pickles and rye. It was a very good Jewish deli in Detroit. I was in Michigan trying to get our Kamala Harris in office instead of the insane idiot that we're dealing with every single day.
It is Saturday night. AJ, what's on your mind tonight, brother?
Yo, let's be happy. This was a beautiful win. We're not going to talk about Kuminga during my segment. We'll save that.
You can if you want. I'm not stopping you.
No, I don't want to.
That's I was for you. Were you the one that coined Johnny Kuminga? Was that you?
I'm talking about Johnny tonight. No. Yeah. John.
Almost forgot about that. That I can't. I need to. That needs to be part of my vocabulary moving forward. Johnny Kuminga. Go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Are you doing okay with her, Shreya? I haven't heard from you in a second. You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm gonna go soon, so I mean, but okay. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay for this because I like him.
Okay, all right. How long have we been going? It's at 2. Okay. AJ, go ahead.
What I want to headline with, because it was such a beautiful win, was I call this a pre-dynasty win. So for some of the young people out there, call out the bandwagoners, but for some of the younger people, from 93 to 2015, 22 years, the Golden State Warriors only made the playoffs once.
Yeah, the We Believe team, correct.
Playoffs. And so every single game for those 22 years was like, hey, is this dude Pat Spencer any good? Is this dude Will Richard any good? So I absolutely love this game. This was my favorite game of the year. I call it a pre-dynasty win. I love when we play without Steph and we can pull out a victory. So let's all be real happy and positive. Couple things I wanted to point out. I on the last show, I was talking about Quinton Post's defense. I'm hoping everyone saw that tonight. He blocked Evan Mobley. Did you see that? That was so sick.
And I think Quinton Post, was the ACC. Is Boston College in the ACC or the Big East? I think he was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, or at least he was on the ACC All Defensive Team. So Quinton Post came with a defensive reputation from college. I'm glad to see it continue.
That so I was talking about that after the last game, and like Bob Fitzgerald was like talking about Quinton Post. He's like, he's just a stretch big. Like that's not a big effing deal. You need to have a stretch big in the NBA. It's a big deal. Like you need a 7-footer who can shoot threes, and we got one. So I'm super excited about that. I also forgot to point out that he deters people at the rim. That is why all these clunky 7-footers, even if they suck at basketball, at least they turn people away at the rim. They don't even shoot because you got a monster in front of you. But the headline for me is Gui Santos. I mean, if you have any questions about whether Steve Kerr is a good coach, This dude hasn't played for 3 weeks. He comes in. I call him Gui Energy. I call him Dirty Santos. He comes in with fire. He's on fire. He's
Why Dirty Santos? That's a random one. I think of Dirty Sanchez when I hear that. And
right. Oh, he plays. Anyway, Gui Energy came in, and he's not Michael Jordan, but he's playing amazing defense. And he completely contested that Donovan Mitchell shot that I think everyone thought was going in for sure.
I did too. Yeah, the one at the end. Yeah, agreed.
He's tall. He's taller than Donovan Mitchell. Okay, if that was, I love GP2. If that was GP2 or Will Richard or whoever you want to pick, that ball's going down. Okay, Gui Santos is what, 6'9", 6'10"? Anyway, I don't
6'7", but yeah.
Oh, he's taller than 6'7". I'll get out the measuring tape right now.
You're saying Gui Santos, the eye test, he looks bigger than the listed height?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You might be right.
I think he's taller than Jimmy Butler. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong about the height. Whatever.
Who cares? Yeah.
Taller than GP2, we can agree upon that. And no hate for GP2. I love GP2. But also, Pat Sanity, are we witnessing the new era of who the heck is this guy? He's getting into the paint. He's scoring buckets. The assists are off the charts. He's hitting threes at 40%. It's Pat Sanity, dude. Spencer for hire. It's I'm all about it. I love it. I also think it kind of was a good. It's showing Pods and Moody, hey, you can drive to the hoop too. I'd like to see. I saw Kuminga drive to the hoop a couple times tonight. Of course, he missed a few, but I saw Pods go to. And from the last game, the whole second half, I've been screaming this for 3 years. Drive the ball. You don't have to score. You just collapse the paint. You kick it out for three. You drive the ball on every single play. And what's with the standing around for 10 seconds? And then I was talking about grenades on the last show. Like, the whole team's shooting grenades. Dribble around. They're like, what are you looking at? And I clearly I blame Kerr. We have good offensive players. We're not making, they're not moving. They're not doing anything. We're not getting good shots. It's not the talent level. So anyway, Pat Spencer was awesome. Pods was good. Buddy Hield's defense was really good tonight. I said last time he shouldn't play a single minute, but we don't really have a lockdown defender, period. I don't know who to put out there, to be honest. I don't
well, GP2 was that guy, and Sharia, this is where, like, I don't know if you still think he's that guy. That's the main reason why I don't advocate for GP2 as much. He was that guy. He was. I mean, I don't think they win the championship in 2022 without him. But they also have Draymond Green. They also have Johnny Kuminga. Who else? I would say those are your top three.
Moses and his wingspan.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yes, absolutely.
Right. None of them are great. They're all about the same. By the way, the dude who was talking trash about Draymond earlier, we can't have that. That can't be allowed. I'm sorry. Draymond Green is the greatest defensive player of all time. He's the only player who he redefined defense for the whole league. Not only could he individually guard all five positions, he was guarding all five guys at the same time when he was on the floor. That's Draymond Green, the step up, the shifting, and he's still very, very, very good. He's maybe lost half a step, but the problem with Draymond, if you look at all the advanced stats, is he can't play center anymore. That was a special time when he was at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
He's a half step slower. I will agree with that. But that's Steve Kerr's fault. And it might be Draymond's fault. I don't know what his feeling about it is, but Draymond Green should be buying Quinton Post a very nice Christmas present this year and begging Steve Kerr to play alongside him because they're a perfect pairing. Quinton can shoot the three on offense. Draymond can run it. And then you got Steph and Jimmy going. I mean, like, what's on, you know?
Yeah. And Draymond and AJ, Draymond Green has publicly multiple times in interviews, he said that his natural position is the 4. That's what he prefers to play. But he's also, look, he listens to his coach. He is not insubordinate. So there you go.
I never listened to my coach, and I suck at basketball. I was complaining the whole time.
Well, AJ, in Draymond's defense, I don't think you sucker punched one of your teammates and then had your coach defend you over the player who got sucker punched. So that's where the loyalty, I think, really lies.
Yeah, I actually did sucker punch my teammate, but nobody saw it and it wasn't on video. So
that's unfortunate.
that was pre.
That sucks.
I'm kidding. That was pre-cell phone era, you know. I like a nice sucker punch, not to the face, you know. But anyway,
so to the jewels.
Right, you got it.
Ooh, brutal.
Great win tonight. And yeah, we get Steph back. We get, the other thing is like when Kerr puts in, Will Richard shouldn't start over Moses Moody. I'm sorry. There has to be some kind of seniority going on. If Will Richard is that much better than Moses Moody, I get it. If he's blossoming into Michael Jordan, but you're just destroying. People got to work their way up a little bit and prove themselves a little bit.
Why not start both?
Yeah.
Why not play both? Why is Buddy Hield starting? I think that's my question.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Anyway, that's Pods had a great game. I don't love Pods. I definitely don't hate him. I don't get all the hate. I mean, he's playing 28 minutes and Kuminga's playing like 26 a game. So, it's not 30.
But those numbers don't necessarily tell the truth because Kuminga's 26 a game is based largely off that first week or two of the season when he was starting and actually playing over 30. And then that number got dragged down by the more recent few weeks, whereas Podziemski is just consistently getting those 28 to 30. Like Podziemski's minutes, in other words, he knows what he's going to get, at least until very recently, these last few games. Now, who knows? But, we lost Shreya. She just bounced.
Okay.
Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, well, she had to go. I hear you. And no goodbye, though. Shreya. Not even a goodbye. Like, come on. Anyways, AJ, wrap it up, please. I think that's a cue for us to start wrapping up the show. Go ahead.
I have a question for you. I'm trying to think of a comp for Quinton Post. I was a guy who can shoot threes, play defense. I was thinking like a Brook Lopez or something like that. Obviously he's not, Jokic or Embiid or Anthony Davis, but who's like a good comp for a very good 3-point shooter, 7-footer, and very good defender? I can't think of one.
That's a good question. I have no clue. Julian Bashir is saying a good comp for Quinn Post is Marc Gasol, but Marc Gasol was a bigger dude. I mean, from playing style perspective, I see it. But Marc Gasol was just you didn't push him around, and I think he even won Defensive Player of the Year one season. But maybe that's the closest one. Yeah.
Did he shoot threes?
Yes.
He did? Okay.
I mean, look, he played in an era where that wasn't the norm, so it wasn't like he was raining them. But I do remember. Here, let me look it up real fast. Any final thoughts while I'm doing that real quick?
Yeah, no, that's it. Good to see us.
No, real quick before you go, unless you have to run.
No.
Mark Lopez. Wait,
Brook
Marc
Lopez.
Gasol. Sorry, I said Lopez. I was thinking of Brook Lopez. So Marc Gasol, career-wise, shot 36% from. Wait, is that right? Hold on. No,
But how many shots a game? I don't think he shot that.
Oh, here it is. 36% 3-point shooter, and but he was only putting up 1 point. He was only averaging 1.3 3-point attempts a game.
Right.
Now, if you look at his stats starting in 2017, he went from averaging 0.1 3-point attempts per game to 3.6.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So,
Okay. Yeah. I think Brook Lopez. I mean, let me put it this way: would you start Marc Gasol or Brook Lopez on this team? Because
absolutely, yeah,
Quinton
no question.
For the rest of the year, he had a really nice game, didn't you think so?
Or Desiree, I don't know where he's been. Where have you been hiding, buddy? Saying a non-athletic version of Miles Turner. Yeah, that's an interesting one. What'd you ask him? Sorry, AJ.
Yeah, Miles Turner's a great one. I was saying, what do you think of Quinton post game tonight?
It was solid. I have no complaints. I mean, I'm glad he's starting. And this is no diss on Quinton Post, who got 31 minutes 55 seconds of playing time tonight. That led the Warriors. I hope when people discuss this game that Trayce Jackson-Davis gets more credit. I thought Trayce Jackson-Davis actually played some fantastic minutes. One thing that really stuck out to me was when the unit that came in that Trayce Jackson-Davis was a part of when they had the substitutions, and I think Gui Santos rolled in with him as well, their energy level just really ratcheted up. And I don't think Cleveland was prepared for that. I also see a common theme with a lot of these teams that the Warriors are playing recently, which is that none of them know who necessarily to square up on defensively, meaning like they see a team of 5 dudes and they don't know what to do, right? The OKC Thunder had this issue in the second half of the most recent game. I thought Philly had this problem as well. And it's a huge reason why Kuminga, I sorry if this sounds like me making apologies for the guy or making excuses, but when Kuminga's out there, he's the only one that defenses are fearing, that they're really respecting. Like, and again, this is not a slight to Pat Spencer or to anyone else, but none of those guys are making opposing defenses react, right? Kuminga is making other teams alert, aware, like they're squaring up on him. There's a reason why Evan Mobley is specifically defending Jonathan Kuminga. And that doesn't help him. And something tells me if Kuminga's out there with 3 or 4 other elite scorers, or with the starters, for example, which I know tonight he did, but again, the team's so battered with injuries. Like, you could make the argument that the teams, when you factor Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, DeAnthony Melton, and Seth Curry, and Al Horford, although Horford's been irrelevant this season, but all the veterans were out. I mean, this was a team with the exception of Buddy Hield and GP2, like they relied on their youth tonight to win, but youth also comes with a very thin scouting report, right? Other teams don't know much about you, but they know enough about Kuminga to be afraid of him. They're not necessarily fearing these other guys. So I think that's a slight disadvantage to Kuminga offensively. But with all that said, my point is Quinton Post was fantastic. I hope he keeps starting. I'd like some stability in the starting lineup. I don't like the fact that tonight represented the 12th different starting lineup for this team when they've only played 24 games. So if Quinton Post is like your starter moving forward, I'm excited about that. That's me. I don't know. How do you feel?
I'm Quinton Post's biggest fan. He should have been starting 10 games ago. And and then Guy. This guy's got to play. He has height. He has energy. He has defense.
I've been saying that for ages. Yeah.
What is the problem? How bad is this guy at practice? Is what I've been saying, because I'm like, he looks pretty good to me every single time he plays.
I don't think it's a practice thing, man. I think it's just more what Kerr values in an individual, and just for whatever reason, like
I think Kerr in his mind thinks that he can win a championship with Steph Curry and 4 Steve Kerrs. That's what I think it is.
Yeah,
because Steve Kerr,
I agree,
overachieving 6'4", 3 or 2 guard who was pretty good at defense. We have like 6 Steve Kerrs on our team as a player, So, he's probably in the depths of his psychology. He's like, we don't need big guys. We just need Steve Kerrs and Steph Curry.
Yeah. And again, like Anthony Long in the chat saying, I didn't see JK double team. I'm not sitting here saying he's double team. What I'm saying is, if you're playing basketball and it's a 5-on-5 game and your team is playing the Warriors and the Warriors are rolling out that 5 that we saw tonight, Kuminga is light years, no pun intended, ahead of those other 4 in terms of you defensively being worried, right? You're not letting your foot off the gas defending Kuminga. You are letting your foot off the gas with these other guys. Kuminga represents a very legitimate challenge defensively. These other guys don't represent a very legitimate challenge offensively. It's just a different level of player, man. Like Kuminga is considerably better than all the other players on this team in terms of who is active tonight. AJ, would you agree? I know you're skeptical with Kuminga, but let me ask you this. Yeah. From strictly talent, athleticism, eye test, whatever criteria you want to use to rank, who's better than Kuminga on this team right now in terms of who is active tonight?
Well,
as an individual basketball player,
I'm gonna a lot of guys are better than Kuminga.
Name one. Like if they're playing one-on-one basketball, who's beating Kuminga that was active tonight?
All right, well, give me 60 seconds. I'll give you my whole rundown on Kuminga.
I don't want to run down. I'm just asking you a simple question, AJ. Of all the players active tonight, Will Richard, Quinton Post, Buddy Hield, Pat Spencer, Brandin Podziemski, Trace Jackson-Davis, Moses Moody, GP2, Gui Santos, which one of those players would beat Kuminga one-on-one?
One-on-one?
Yes.
None of them. But
none of them. Thank you. That's my point. He is levels above these other guys. Now, if you're going to talk about this from a team perspective, this is where myself and other people will strongly agree to disagree. And I'm guessing you're in this boat where whether your argument is he doesn't fit, whether your argument is he's not cutting or doing whatever the subjective the subjective criteria is in your head, I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. I don't. To me, if he plays 30 minutes or more a night, you're going to get the best results from him. And I don't see when he gets minutes, the detriment. I don't see the negatives when he gets extensive minutes. I only see negatives when he gets a limited run because that's not what he's built for. That is you should not have drafted this guy if your entire goal was to treat him like a role player. And to me, that's on Kerr.
Yes.
That's me. I don't know.
Let me defend you. Jonathan Kuminga is one of the greatest athletes walking the face of the earth today. He's a top-tier athlete in the NBA. Steve Kerr and the Warriors have done a terrible job developing him. He is he can score. He can shoot the three. He should get opportunities. You made a point the other night. He should start. I'm not opposed to that. I thought about it a little bit more. I'm not opposed to putting him out there with Steph and whatnot and give him a little more space to work. But on my side, we don't have to look objectively. There's subjectively. There's a lot of objective material that shows that he's not a very good defender.
What piece of evidence exists for that?
So steals per game, per 36 minutes. He is dead last, and he should not be dead last. And
why? Have you looked at this? And I'm being genuine in saying that because you look at the way the Warriors are constructed, and I would say steals is not a fair stat to base a criteria on for Kuminga, given this team is just loaded with guards, all of whom are handsy, all of whom as smaller players are likely going to get steals, whereas Kuminga routinely is defending centers, power forwards. If he wasn't getting blocks ever, I would say that's more of a measurable to base on. But even then, steals, the defense is just a very hard thing to judge when you're factoring measurables into it for these guys. It's mostly an eye test thing. And from an eye test perspective, again, he's routinely assigned the toughest offensive player to defend for good reason because he is one of the team's best defenders. If you think steals is that important, we'll agree to disagree on that front. I don't think that's a proper measurable. Yeah.
I agree with you that steals doesn't mean everything. That was just the first thing. Let me defend you on Kuminga on one thing. In the playoffs last year, when Steph went down, he was the best player on our team.
Easily,
And his defense against Anthony Edwards was awesome. It was awesome. And I don't know why I don't see that every night. And
I don't know either.
You know,
Here's what I do know, and this is from courtesy of Kayakio and also We the Champions. One of the weakest, lamest critiques of Kuminga that I hear. It's the dumbest shit imaginable. Imagine the irony coming that you call this guy low IQ. I call your critique low IQ. Questioning someone else's acumen based strictly off your own personal opinion. I say that's a dumb opinion. I'll push back and say, if that's your criticism of Kuminga, that he's low IQ, what are you basing that on exactly? Your own scouting, your own ability to observe? I'm going to push back and say you're wrong. I don't agree with that at all. Sorry. And X-Man saying Kuminga wasn't guarding SGA, Mitchell, or Maxey. Well, X-Man, Kuminga was guarding Evan Mobley tonight, if I'm not mistaken, because the Cavaliers had multiple good players to defend. It wasn't just one. I have seen Kuminga guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So, no, I don't think that's true at all. The Philadelphia game, I mean, Kuminga barely even played. So, I don't even know if Maxey and Kuminga were on the floor together. I think there's so much disingenuous criticism when it comes to the Kuminga part. Not to mention, again, and again, if the name calling, you're going to get banned for that. It's not a detailed, it's not complicated. So we are champions. Nice knowing you. You're no longer a part of this. Ender is dead. Nice knowing you. You're no longer a part of this.
Okay.
Just don't resort to name calling. All right. I welcome the audience to come on the show like AJ is right now. I welcome people to espouse their opinions in this chat. But the moment you start calling people names, you're out. You're a distraction. You bring nothing to the table. So be constructive in your critique, man. Like, instead of just resorting to the dumbass name calling, it's ridiculous. AJ, go ahead.
I want Johnny to be great. I strongly believe that the Warriors will trade him. I'd be interested if they don't trade him. There's only one reason why, and that's nobody wants him, which is a concern of mine. But I think he has upside. Last year, I would have said, over under one All-Star game, I would have taken the over. This year, I'm taking the under. And part of it is the emotional psychology of the contract and Steve Kerr and getting jerked around and all that. So I support you.
Part of it.
I support
huge part of it.
But just for fun, and I'm just telling you how I feel. Some of it's on him. And Steph Curry's out for 3 games. And he goes 8 for 32 in 3. He shoots 25% from the floor. I mean, that doesn't mean everything, but you got to step up with your opportunities. And he missed so many close layups tonight again. But
and that's a fair critique. Again, he was 1 of 10 shooting. Fair critique. But and all I'll push back on with that again is if he gets 30 minutes. And that's his final stat line, rip the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I 100% support it. When he's only playing 20 minutes, not a big enough sample size.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just, I don't, that is not enough. Like he is not a role player. So I am not going to evaluate him as a role player. That is disrespectful to the man. And it's disingenuous as analysis. I just don't agree. Like Anthony Wong, for example, says Kuminga has all the potential, but isn't reaching it lately. Because he's not getting the damn minutes.
Yeah.
It is not complicated. He needs an established role with minutes.
Yes.
And I've been saying this shit for 3.5 effing years now, and I'm still having this argument with people. It's insane. And Hamza Hakeem saying he would have gone 4 of 12, which isn't good either, but isn't winning the goal? I mean, they did win tonight still. Yes. And if he had gone 4 of 12 and they'd won, that's all that matters. I brought up the fact that Kate Cunningham had one of the worst shooting nights of the year recently, still put together a triple-double, still led his team to victory. Great players will have off nights shooting. That doesn't mean they're a bad player. That doesn't mean that they're not doing enough to help your team. Rebounding does matter. Defense does matter. He's also facilitating. How many beautiful passes did he have tonight to set up his teammates? Quinton Post had, I think, a amazingly beautiful bucket based off of Kuminga's setup. Buddy Hield, one of his threes was set up from a Kuminga assist. It's utterly disingenuous to point your finger at this guy and pretend that he's the issue. The only issue is his usage, that he does not have a bigger role. It is asinine that one of the only players on this team with decent size is not getting proper minutes. I'm relieved that Gui Santos played because Gui Santos and Kuminga are very similar from a physical perspective, right? You want that, you need that, and you saw tonight Gui Santos getting minutes. Oh, huge surprise. The Warriors won. Funny how that works when you actually put size into the game, and it works. Kuminga also gives you size. Yeah. I would prefer him all day, every day over GP2, over Podziemski, over Buddy Hield, over Al Horford. Yet that's not how Steve Kerr sees it. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But to me, the way he's used is asinine. And all I'm asking for is minutes. Yeah. And Kerr, just for whatever reason, there was a point in this game I had people tell me, by the way, that when Kuminga got taken out, he got brought into the game with 5 minutes and change, and the Warriors lead went up from 8 to 10. He gets taken out inexplicably at around the 3-minute mark. Gui Santos comes. Why are you shaking your head? Like what do you? What did I miss?
I'm just listening. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then at the 3-minute mark, then Gui Santos comes back, gets brought back in. 10-point Warriors lead whittles down to like 1, and they barely pull it off. The use and during that point, some people mentioned that Draymond Green had pulled Kuminga aside to have a conversation with him, and I'm guessing it's because Kuminga was probably pissed off. He's like, "What the hell did I do to like have a 2-minute spell in this game when we actually built the lead while I was out there?" Kerr's just, dude, he's just obtuse. He's obtuse. I use that word repeatedly for good reason. It's crazy.
And a young guy like Kuminga does need structure. He does need to know he's going to be
big time. Yes.
6 minutes, even if he plays well or plays poorly. And, you know, part of, and I'm a Kerr hater, I'd fire him right now. But one of the defenses of Kerr, the Warriors, is they are trying to win a championship every year, and it's hard. And Kuminga was, 18, 19 years old, and it has been hard for them to do it. But I agree with you. I know your stance is give the man a set number of minutes, let him grow, because he has the ability and he has the athletic ability, and he's shown what he was amazing in the playoffs last year. I mean, I was like, sign the guy, give him 3 years, give him 4 years, but he's not showing it to me this year, and he needs to earn his minutes too, and we need to win games.
And again, I ask Hamza Kassem in the chat, and everyone else for that matter, stop using the word fit when it comes to Kuminga. It is a bullshit subjective word that people are using as an excuse to defend Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr uses that word as an excuse to avoid providing specificity for reasons behind why Kuminga doesn't play. It's a bullshit, lazy a way to get around finding specific reasons. It's just an opinion. I don't agree with that opinion. I think if you played the man and played him extended minutes, he'd fit fine. But Steve Kerr has an itchy trigger finger with substitutions. He can't let people stay out there and develop a rhythm. He can't let people stay out there and develop consistency. He doesn't let lineups play together consistently. Again, 37 different starting lineups last year. This year, we're at 12 and 24 games. He's never developed a single young player in his 12 years coaching. Not one. Yet people still defend this guy and pretend that Kuminga is the problem. It's insanity. Sorry, AJ.
I go. But I do. Let me push back on you a little bit. Let me ask you two questions. One, Gui Santos comes in. He looks like his hair is on fire. It actually does look like it's on. But I mean, he comes in with extreme energy, especially on defense. My first question is, have you seen Kuminga match that recently? And my second question is, you know, I know you're a Kuminga believer, and I believe he'll be good in his career as well.
Maybe. My argument always is like I want to see a healthy sample size so we can actually have an answer on that. None of us know. I'm not sitting here pretending I know for certain Kuminga is going to be great, but I also sure as shit know that I don't know if he's not going to be good. Unlike some of the people that already have come to a conclusion on him. What is your conclusion on 24 minutes a game, 22? I mean, they're like some idiot on Twitter today was bringing up that him and Jalen Johnson, they were comparing the two guys, and that because Kuminga has more career minutes that he's gotten just as much of an opportunity as Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson this year is averaging 35 minutes a game, 10 more than Jonathan Kuminga. So, of course, he's putting up bigger numbers. And you look at their career minutes per game, and Jalen Johnson's played 3 more minutes per game than Kuminga in something like 70 less games. So, career minutes, are you out of your mind? The lengths people go. Like, AJ, ultimately, bottom line, in a summary manner, what is it about Kuminga you don't like?
That he's capable of being a lockdown defender, and he's not putting in the energy. His
can I stop you for 1 second? I just want to go back. I want to hit these points individually. What can you give me an example of a player who has shown you that Kuminga is not a lockdown defender? Because I don't have any memory of players eating him up. I don't have a memory of Kuminga getting exposed defensively. Like what are you basing that critique on?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he gets burned more than anyone else on our team. I would say there was an ugly play tonight where he lost DeAndre Hunter for an easy layup, but that's one play. I'm not seeing he locked down Anthony Edwards last year. Why am I not seeing that every night? That's like you said, basketball defense.
Well, and that Minnesota series, AJ, Kuminga actually had a role, right?
Yeah.
Like he was given a green light to just go out and cook, and huge surprise. I mean, and people want to meet, and again, his haters will say, well, they didn't win any games. It's like, okay, if you're going to follow that logic, I guess Stephen Curry was a bad player in 2021 when the team couldn't win either of those play-in games. Or maybe it's just that as good of a player as you are, if you don't have a decent supporting cast, there's nothing you could do. Like Draymond Green has shown that when Steph's not alongside him, he wilts. Jimmy Butler was hurt, or who knows what was going on there. Kuminga was practically alone on that team. Who else was there helping? Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's my argument. He was awesome. Why am I not seeing that tonight?
And just adding to that, AJ, in terms of why I'm so frustrated with Steve Kerr, if Steve Kerr did not value this guy, why not just say something this last offseason? Why not tell the front office, don't pay this guy. I'm not going to play him.
Well, they want to trade him, and he did play him. He started him for a while,
and then gave up on that 2 weeks in. How is any of that rational, man? Like, I have a very clear memory of those first 5 games. He looked awesome. The team looked awesome. What happened there? Because of those 2 games in Milwaukee and Indiana, when Stephen Curry was sick, you're just going to give up on something that was working because of that? Dude, Curry's out of his mind, man. And all I'm trying to say is, like, I don't want to judge Kuminga unless he's actually playing for a coach who will nurture and support him, because he doesn't have that right now. And I don't think anyone should be surprised by these results, man. I've never seen anyone not named Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Klay, side note, by the end, we saw what happened there because Kerr wanted to start Podziemski over Klay. So Klay was like, get me the hell out of here. But outside of Stephen Curry, who has thrived under this guy? No, I can't. Yeah. I mean, Wiggins for a brief moment, like for 3 months. I mean,
I'm right with you. Yeah,
I'm so ready for a new coach, man. And look, what I'm trying to tell everyone is ultimately, if you are a Kuminga skeptic, you might be right too. I just want to see minutes so we can come to a safe conclusion on that. And the reason why I'm not jumping to the negative conclusion is because every time Kuminga does play, every effing time he gets minutes, he delivers. But Steve Kerr just does not have the patience to keep him out there for extended runs. And he told Tim Kawakami last summer, I don't see him as just 38-minute a guy tonight. Insane. Even if you see him as Sean Marion, wasn't Sean Marion getting minutes?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So what is my second question was, what is your criticism of Johnny?
Well, he needs to improve his shot. There's no doubt about that. Johnny, I love that. To me, the form is fine. He just needs minutes, man. That's it. Because if you ever look at his footage from high school and G League Ignite, and in case people are unfamiliar of the story behind why the Warriors even drafted this guy, friendly reminder, I've said this before, and it's somewhat public knowledge. Jonathan Kuminga is 1 year with G League Ignite. He was teammates with Jared Jack. Do you remember that guy, AJ?
Jalen Green.
No, not Jalen Green. Jared Jack.
Oh, Jared Jack. Yeah, I know Jared Jack.
Remember the point guard who was playing alongside Steph in 2013 when they upset? Yeah, that Jared Jack. Jared Jack's final season in playing professional basketball was on G League Ignite, and Jonathan Kuminga was his teammate. And Jared Jack has stayed very close with a lot of his former teammates, Draymond Green included. So when Kuminga fell to the Warriors in that draft, what Jared Jack told Draymond Green is, you better draft this kid. He is the real deal. And it was singing effusive praise for him. If you've seen any of Kuminga's highlights from high school, and I know it's high school, I get it, but if you just watch the way he played, he was the consensus #1 player out of high school, right? And he skipped college, went straight to G League Ignite, and you could criticize that decision. I have in the past, but it is what it is. And he's always dominated in these levels. So he gets drafted #7, same pick, same number as Stephen Curry, comes to the Warriors. They win a championship his first year. And then Steve Kerr starts doing Steve Kerr things, playing Anthony Lamb over him, playing JaMychal Green over him. It's ludicrous, man. And here we are, and we're still talking about this.
I agree.
Like, I'm losing my voice because of this topic. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
I said we're not talking about Kuminga because we had an amazing victory tonight. Our players looked great. Gui Santos needs to play. Quinton Post needs to start. And I think Kuminga was like a +10 tonight, or maybe I read that wrong. I don't even know.
Which player?
Kuminga. Johnny was +.
He was a +5. Yeah. And again, we talked about this earlier. Like the net rating, you can kind of get a picture of which lineups were the most successful tonight. And when you look at the players who finished in the positive, Kuminga +5, Pat Spencer +9, Trace Jackson Davis +15, Moses Moody +9, GP2 +4, and then Gui Santos was an even 0. Like those were the guys who were making a difference. Like Will Richard, I don't think was doing anything bad. He finished a -1. Quinton Post is an example of where net rating does not tell the whole story. He was a -10. Buddy Hield was a -1. Podziemski was a -5. That probably is most accurate if you're trying to interpret net rating. But you could see which lineups were kind of working out there tonight for the most part if you observe those net rating statistics. And yeah, Kuminga was a +5.
Yeah, I like everyone on this team, and I'm quick to hate people. I don't love anyone except for Steph and Jim. Jimmy's been amazing this year, I think.
Agreed.
That was all by you. I was very skeptical. I was happy about it, but I was like a wait and see. And he's been a revelation. He's really going for it. He wants a ring. And yeah, let's trade everything for Giannis. By the way, interesting thought I had while the drunk guy was talking about Mikal Bridges. They could do a 3-way trade where Giannis goes to the Knicks, Mikal Bridges comes to the Warriors, and we send the picks to the Bucks. I would not be opposed to that if Giannis doesn't want to live in the greatest region in the world, which he
Name
should.
the trade again. What are you proposing?
Giannis to the Knicks, Mikal Bridges or Cat to the Warriors, and picks and young guys to the Bucks.
Mikal Bridges. I've thought about that as well. Let's bust out the trade machine here. And we'll get some music playing as well. We're approaching 3 hours. All right, we're gonna wrap this up soon here as well. I didn't realize how late we were. Cam, you've been waiting patiently. I'll bring Cam on right now. Cam, how are you doing, brother? Sorry to keep you waiting as long as you have. You doing good?
No, it's all good. Doing good. Hey, man, that was a crazy call earlier before him. But y'all gotta realize this. Kerr is the reason we lost those games against Minnesota. he had Kuminga playing less minutes than Brandin Podziemski.
Yeah.
Kuminga was killing. Kuminga was not starting those games. He was the 5th, 6th player off the bench after he was the only person that was scoring. So it was already too late for Kuminga to save us because we was already losing the game.
Correct.
He was locking down Anthony Edwards, period. He had him on lock, and Kerr was taking him out the game. Like, come on, man. That was an easy, winnable series. We could at least won a couple games to get Steph back, but I think Jonathan Kuminga could have won it without Curry. We could have let him rest to the next series. That's how bad he was killing them boys.
Agreed on all those fronts, man. It's the usage is just so absurd. It's indefensible, man. I don't get any of it. By the way, so we're talking. Hold on, let me share my screen here. Oh, you can see it. 3-team trade, right? AJ, Warriors, Knicks, and Bucks.
Giannis to the Knicks, Cat or Mikal to the Warriors, and we would be trading Kuminga, Hield, Moody.
We're not trading no Kuminga, man. Kirk needs to be fired before we trade Kuminga. Why is we wasting our time with this coach who just wasted Steph prime?
Yeah.
3 years.
You're absolutely right. No pushback. I'm just trying to be realistic because I feel like it's a pipe dream to actually see Kerr hit the streets, right? It's one thing to want it. It's one thing to see how obviously logical of a decision that would be. But Joe Lacob is feckless, man. Like when it comes to holding Steve Kerr accountable, the dude's balls shrivel up into tiny peas. Like he just cannot confront this man for whatever reason.
You can't draw an out of balance play. That's supposed to be your specialty.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. 100% agree with you. So we're doing this exercise largely because of reality and not necessarily what makes most sense. I hope that's clear, Cam.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Johnny needs a shot. You know, if he goes to the Bucks, he's gonna get 30 minutes. He's gonna get his.
No, he needs to get 30 minutes on this team. We got to realize.
I know.
The reason Kuminga not scoring like he was in the Minnesota series because he's doing what Kerr told him to do. Rebound. Yes. He was scoring last year. No, he needs to do this. He needs to do that. Now that he's doing that, passing the ball, getting rebounds. Oh, well, he's not scoring. Y'all told him don't worry about scoring. So
real quick, are you guys happy if Mikal Bridges was the piece coming in?
Yes.
Cam, what do you think?
Nah, I'd rather have Cat.
You'd rather have Cat. Okay, well, and so Mikal Bridges, I was looking at his age. I'm just curious. We'll try both of them out. The age is important to me. So Mikal Bridges will turn 30 next year. So he's getting up there in age. So that's kind of a turnoff for me. And then
we're trying to win right now.
How old is Cat?
He's probably.
I'm looking that up right now too. And AJ, you're right that the Warriors are trying to win now, but if we want to be realistic about this, Joe Lacob and company are thinking about the future as well. Meaning, like whoever's coming in has to bring some upside to him. And so, if one of the pieces coming in that's central to this trade is turning 30. I'm gonna guess that's gonna give some pause to the Warriors. Giannis Antetokounmpo is an exception. All right, I know he's 32 or whatever, but he's one of the greatest ever. I mean, you're gonna make that trade if that happens. Karl Anthony Towns is turned 30 years old a few weeks ago.
And
let's get for the sake of argument. Let's just roll with
we wouldn't trade Draymond for Giannis. You sound stupid. Bro, come on, man.
Let's first of all see if so Karl Anthony Towns, because he makes $53 million, you'd have to also include Draymond Green likely.
He needs to go, period. Draymond, Pods, Buddy need to go.
But what I'm trying to say is
keep Kuminga.
For salary matching purposes, Karl Anthony Towns is nearly an impossibility. Mikal Bridges makes $24 million. So we'll just say for the sake of argument, let's see if we can pull this off. So Mikal Bridges to the Warriors. Whoops, this one's out.
He only makes 24. That's not enough. Yeah, we would need like Anunoby or something like that.
No. Kuminga makes 22.5.
Right, but
so the issue is that you'd be sending too much. Oh, because Giannis makes 54.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So Draymond would have to be a part of this. So, all right. So we'll add. Good. Sorry. Someone say?
I'll say Draymond and Jimmy if we could get Giannis. and keep Kuminga. Kuminga is our future.
Agreed with you. Just for the sake of argument, we're going to do this exercise with Kuminga. All right. Do not pretend that I'm endorsing trading Kuminga, but we're just playing along. We're just having fun here. So let's say Kuminga goes to Milwaukee.
Kuminga, Hield, and Moody, because that's about $50 million there.
But
and maybe
okay,
too.
All right. So let's add. So Moody will go to Milwaukee, and then we'll send Buddy Hield as well. He's got a $3 million buyout.
He make three. Oh my God, get him out of here. He make down there $4 million.
All right. So at this point, you're sending 32, 33, 43. So you got to include Moody as well. God damn it! I already put him in there. We'll put Al Horford in. Okay. See, this is.
We can't trade him till next year.
You have to include Dre. You have to include Dre if you're going to make this work.
Oh, okay.
So let's say Draymond goes to the Knicks. Well, no, the Knicks can't do that, though. So Draymond would have to go to Milwaukee.
I'd trade Dre for Cat. I don't know if I'd trade Dre for Mikal Bridges.
But here's the problem. Because Giannis is involved and he's making $54 million,
yeah,
you'd have to get to that level.
Got to be 54, yeah.
So if we swap out Bridges for Karl Anthony Towns, trade currently fails. So it's getting complicated.
We're right up against the cap, so we can't take on more salary.
I mean, I think you can make it work, but you'd have to get a little creative. Like, so basically, the Bucks.
It was a crazy idea. Crazy idea.
I don't think it's crazy. I just think you'd have to include some more pieces to make it work.
Can we send Pods back to the G League for Spencer or LJ?
Well, dude, I'll sign up for that all day, every day. I mean, dude, LJ Cryer, by the way. I mean, that's another piece. I want to see him play, man. All this good feeling that we have about Pat Spencer, for all we know, LJ Cryer could be way better. You know, like
I know for a fact he's better. I could guarantee you that from the way he was playing in the preseason. No, I'm genuinely asking, can Paz go back to the G League and Spencer take his spot, or is he already signed and we can't do it?
Well, contractually, he's already locked in. So you can send Podziemski to the G League, but his contract is guaranteed for $3 million and change, and they already exercised the extension for next year. So yeah, you're stuck with him, is what I'm trying to say.
He needs to go on the trade too.
I like LJ Cryer and Willie together because they played against each other in the championship. That would be a sick backcourt. LJ Cryer and Will Richard. I'd be down for that.
We can't trade like Pods for cash or do us. That's
you
not
can't.
Well,
what I've been saying is trade Podziemski to Sacramento for Keon Ellis. Just straight up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Done. And it's doable. I've already run it through the trade machine. It works. Bye.
As soon as I get some money, y'all gonna see me on TV right behind Kerr. I swear to God. Them tickets be so high though. I'm gonna be screaming with my sign, fire Kerr, no more small ball. And I bet he go back to small ball just like he did in the fourth quarter. And what happened? We was about to lose the game again.
Sai, we should do a group thing where everyone puts in $10.
And these Kerr apologists kill me, man.
They do.
People in the chat, I feel like they trolls, they bots or something, because you cannot watch the same game that we be watching.
Well, and you have guys like Desiree who pretend that 38.5% from three is like some bragging number. The Podziemski was drafted because he was shooting 43.8% his second year in college. That is what you drafted him for, not 38%. That is a fundamental difference when you're comparing 43 and 38. 38 is not braggadociory. It's okay. You live with it. But considering Podziemski's not a playmaker, considering Podziemski's not a consistent scorer, considering Podziemski is a below average defender, considering Podziemski can't get more than 2 assists a game, 38.5% is not the brag you think it is.
I can't hear y'all.
Going down with the ship when it comes to Podziemski. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cam, in case people aren't familiar with you, you're the guy who in the past held up a sign that said Fire Kerr behind the NBC Sports Bay Area broadcast in Thrive City. That's awesome. And you're saying you just need a small collection to be able to go back out there and do it again? Or we just lost them.
I was saying we should all put in $10 to buy one ticket, like a group, like a what's it called, a GoFundMe to buy one ticket.
We could use it, yeah.
One person just yell at Steve Kerr the whole game.
All right, AJ, any final thoughts? I want to wrap it up. It's been 3 hours, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, great show, great victory. Steph Curry will come back and say, and I'll see you later.
All right, AJ, have a great night. You were fantastic. Cam, did I lose you again? I lost Cam again. Oh, well. He was fantastic while he was there. Chardal, where are you? I keep saying, here, I'll just email you the link again, buddy. Hold on. Because we're at the 3 hour mark, and I don't want to publish the link again because I don't want other people coming in, because then I'm going to have to reject them, and I'd rather just avoid than reject. Hope you can understand. All right. So Chardal's going to join us in just a second. All right, buddy. All right. Oh, Kingslayer. I had your chat from like 3 hours ago highlighted. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Kingslayer writing that. Kingslayer, will you do me a small favor, bud, if you don't mind? Post that as a story on Instagram so I can repost it. So I think they let you do that, right? With Instagram accounts, like for the Spotify top chart thing, like if a program is high up, you can post it as a story. Do that, tag me. My Instagram handle is @dogwild, so I can blast it and feel good for a moment because of your love. Thank you. Sincerely. Thank you, Kingslayer. Chardal, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Cy? I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. Make some great content videos on the platform. As the Golden State Warriors take down the Cleveland Cavaliers 99-94 from Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. What were your thoughts on the win tonight?
They won, right? They won. Here's why I felt good about it, because I didn't feel good about Kuminga getting like a 2-minute in and out, weird ass usage in that fourth quarter. But what I felt great about was two things. One is Pat Spencer, who to me should be clear cut ahead of Steve Kerr's golden boy Brandin Podziemski in the rotational, in the rotations. I'm sorry. And two, and maybe more importantly, Gui Santos got a run. I've been begging for that on this show for months. And we saw what happened when he plays. The dude can contribute. So what were your feelings more specifically, Chardal?
I really enjoyed the win today.
Good.
And it was a great victory because like the Warriors are such a resilient organization that they can always bounce back in the face of adversity. That's what I love about this team and everybody involved with this team, from Stephen Curry to Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler to Quinton Post and Will Richard and many others.
And Jeff Rowe. Wait, what was that guy's name? They got waived. Never mind. Bad joke. That was my feeling. Go ahead, Chardal. I'm sorry. What are you up to tonight? It's Saturday.
So I'm gonna be going to Vegas for New Year's Eve. I'm gonna be taking a New Year's Eve party at the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. There's gonna be an open bar. There's gonna be a DJ.
Look at you.
Dance floor.
Look at you.
There's gonna be a countdown to midnight balloon drop.
Look at you, buddy.
And I'm gonna be going there. I'm gonna be looking all dapper and in an all white suit with a white bow tie. I'm gonna look dapper for New Year's Eve, man. This end of 2025, beginning of 2026 special year.
Bravo.
Very
Chardal.
memorable.
James Ballman in our chat saying you're very professional tonight. I agree. You're on a different level tonight, Chardal. Like you're delivering. I can picture you wearing a suit right now. Are you wearing a suit?
I'm not wearing a suit right now.
Okay, all right.
Pat Spencer was absolutely lights out today. He had 19 points. I mean, Pat Spencer is such a special player on this team, and they should make him the point guard instead of and make him the predominant player until Stephen Curry comes back.
Agreed.
So what were your thoughts on Pat Spencer?
He was throwing up raindrops.
The trio led by Pat Spencer, Quinton Post, and
hold on, Shardall. A-Rod wants to know, how was the Christmas party?
The Christmas party was really good.
Any phone numbers?
No phone numbers.
Digits? Were there any prospects you were interested in?
I was interested. I love going to Christmas parties because I can find a girl that I really like when I go.
But you did not find one last night.
I didn't find one.
Okay, but was there one that you wanted, but like it just didn't work out?
It didn't work out.
Okay, so did you try? Like you asked for a number and she came up with some lame excuse, or like what happened?
I was shy.
Oh, buddy, no. Here, okay, I get it. It's not always easy to approach someone. Rejection is a shitty feeling, but I'll promise you this, Shardall, the regret of not trying is going to burn a hole in your soul far bigger than the bad experience of the rejection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So next time, just muster it, man. Provided you're feeling it, right? If she's not giving you vibes, don't pursue it. But if you're getting some vibes, don't go home with regret. All right, shoot your shot. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making a lot of sense.
Okay, good. A-Rod, bravo for bringing up the Christmas party. Shardall, close it out, buddy. Tell people you're about your YouTube channel or whatever you want to talk about.
Are we going to go over the scoreboard?
We are, yeah.
Can I stay with you and as we do the scoreboard?
All right, let's go. We're going to wrap it up with a scoreboard on Saturday, December 6th. Well, this one was. We'll get right into it. Well, this one was a barn burner, folks. I mean, it's a shame that you watched the Warriors and Cavs because you missed out on arguably the game of the year. We had the Brooklyn Nets hosting the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Nets are on a little winning streak right now. They've won 3 in a row, including tonight's 119-101 win at Barclay over the New Orleans Pelicans, who dropped to 3-21. Again, Brooklyn improves to 6-17. Michael Porter Jr., one of 2 trade pieces that some Warriors fans are taking a hard look at. Michael Porter Jr., 35 points, 9 rebounds in the win. Trey Murphy, the third, with 23 points in the loss. Shardall, are you interested in a trade for either Michael Porter Jr. or Trey Murphy?
I would be really interested in a trade for Trey Murphy to the Warriors.
Trey Murphy. All right. And that way Kuminga and Jordan Poole can be buddies, right? And Kevon Looney.
What?
So that way in New Orleans, Kevon Looney and Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga can all hang out together.
Yeah, I would love to see all of those 3 players hang out together because that would be a reunion to see fellow Warrior players reunite on another team.
Absolutely, man. All right, elsewhere in the association, the Atlanta Hawks 131-116 winners tonight over the Washington Wizards. The Hawks improving to 14-11. The Wizards dropping to 3-19. Jalen Johnson, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists in the win. They call that a triple-double. What's the? I always forget the Wizards player's name. Well, I gotta look at the box score here. Whose last name is George? Because there's a Kenyon George. There's a Keon George.
So on the Utah Jazz, it's Keontae George and it's Keyshawn.
Keyshawn, thank you. Yeah, Keyshawn George of the Wizards tonight. Thank you, Shardall. Good knowledge. Look at you. You're doing your homework. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss for the 3-19 Wizards. 4 more games. Detroit improved. They at home tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks, 124-112. Cade Cunningham, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists in the win. Kevin Porter Jr., 32 points, 6 assists, 4 steals in the loss for Doc Rivers' Milwaukee Bucks. Shardall, do you think the Warriors are going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I mean, all the Warrior fans who are really wanting to get Giannis I think that's far-fetched. I think like Warrior fans are way too optimistic that we're gonna get a player to the roster. I mean, it will be great if he would be on the Warriors. I mean, that would be something I would want that, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I hear you.
It's kind of far-fetched. I mean, it might happen, but I would really. It's kind of like out there, you know, like whether he's gonna come and play for us or not.
I'm curious to know who he wants to play for. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Like if Giannis tells the Bucks, I want to play on the Warriors, they've got a shot. It's a huge if though.
I should do a show on my YouTube channel, and we should pick trade destinations, and we should do a show to where Giannis is gonna go, and then we should have people to come on and do a show on where he might end up getting traded to.
Sounds good. Let me know when. The Sacramento Kings, and on that note, this gives me a chance to promote the I-80 crossover Tuesday night because neither the Warriors or the Kings are playing. So my buddy Mark Haynes will join me.
So I'm going to be joining you. I'm going to be joining you on the I-80. Remember you said day one game by game. So I'm going to be joining you for the I-80 cross. I'm going to stay in the chat like I normally do. And then you'll bring me on, and I want you to introduce me to Mark Haynes.
I'll do that for you, buddy. I'll do that for you.
Introduce him. So I'll make sure.
Are you going to join me? Wait. But more importantly, are you going to join me?
I'm going to join you for the Bulls and Warriors post game show tomorrow.
You are. You're not.
Yeah, I will be joining. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. We'll be joining you.
Awesome. Because I
have nothing going on tomorrow, so I have no commitments, nothing like that. So there's nothing.
Who do the Niners play tomorrow?
The Niners don't play. They play on the 14th, so they have a bye week. They don't play.
All right. So you got some freedom. I like it. So the focus will be on the Warriors for tomorrow.
Yeah, for me, I'm enjoying everything is going really great right now.
Good.
My cat is with me, you know, I'm really loving my cat.
Buster Posey.
My cat is there. So yeah, I'm really loving life. How are you enjoying life?
Well, according to HBA SSOCSF, I might be stoned. I'm not stoned. Just a friendly reminder, even though I make a lot of stoner jokes and I happily partake myself, I have a hard time trusting any human being on this planet who has zero vices. I do not partake before a show. I cannot be sharp. So if my eyes look red, it's because I'm exhausted because we've been going for 3 hours and 16 minutes. Few more scores and let's get out of here. The Sacramento Kings, 127-111 winners tonight over the Miami Heat. Sacramento improving to 6-17. Miami dropping to 14-10. Zach LaVine, 42 points in the win for Sacramento. Again, this was in Miami, a long road trip.
So on Price Picks, I made a parlay and I said that Will Richard would get over 9.5 points. I failed. He only had 4. I lost money because I was predicting that he would have over 9.5 points on Price Picks on my parlay, and he got only 4. So he didn't get 9.5. So I didn't lose money. At least I got the Quinton post. I got that prediction right, and then I picked Fernando Mendoza in the Indiana and Ohio State game. He had over 207.5 yards. He had 222.
Oh wow!
Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana.
Bravo!
And Indiana beat Ohio State 13-10. The head coach for Indiana was pissed off because they had a chance of tying the game and sending to overtime, and I'm glad they missed the field goal and they won it by 3.
Bravo,
Indiana beat Ohio State.
We go with Sizzler. Are you going to Sizzler because you won all that money?
I'm going to Sizzler because I won all that money.
Are you old enough, Chardal, to remember Sizzlers?
Sizzler?
Yeah.
There was a Sizzler in Fremont, but it closed down.
I know they all closed down. It used to be the spot, man. The all-you-can-eat shrimp was amazing. The
Sacramento Kings are one of the worst teams in the NBA right now. and I'm
Yes,
glad they
but
won because they broke out of a
Jaime
funk.
Jaquez is having a solid season. He had 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists tonight. 2 more games, Shardall. We're almost there. You ready?
I'm ready to
Minnesota
go over
Timberwolves.
these 2 games and then close it out.
Yes, sir. The Minnesota Timberwolves improved to 15-8. They were 109-106 winners tonight over the Los Angeles Clippers, who dropped to 6-18. James Harden, 34 points, 6 assists, 4 steals in the loss. Jaden McDaniels, 27 points in the win. I saw something, Shardall, on social media about Ty Lue. Did you see anything about that? Like, was he arguing with
remember when Chris Paul got let go by Clippers? Remember Ty Lue and Chris Paul were getting into a confrontational situation?
Yes.
And Ty Lue did not want to talk to Chris Paul because of what happened because he left LA Clippers.
Yeah, so that's why I see something there, because there's a clip.
And now they're saying Chris Paul will come to the Lakers. Do you agree with that? You think that's kind of like?
It wouldn't surprise
no,
me.
they're saying that he might come to the Lakers and play for the Lakers. Play with LeBron James and Austin Reeves. And
this was Ty Lue some weeks back talking about Chris Paul.
This was the third straight game CP didn't play. What are you looking to see out of him on nights where he doesn't play?
No, just his leadership. Just his leadership, talking to the guys, talking to the coaches of what he sees, what we can do better. And so, before we acquired him, we just told him that he wasn't going to be an every night guy, and so he understood that. And so he has so much knowledge, and he's been around the game so long that he can help us in other ways as well.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Sai, you know when I go to that New Year's Eve party in Vegas?
Yes.
That's the first time that I'm gonna celebrate New Year's Eve in Vegas. I've never celebrated New Year's Eve in Vegas too. My first time.
I'm gonna live vicariously.
I'm very excited. I can't wait. There's gonna be a lot of people celebrating New Year's Eve on that day. A lot of people dressed up. A lot of dapper looking folks out there looking very nice in their suits and their bow ties and their nice stuff, drinking. And they're gonna also have a free like once you go to that New Year's Eve party in Vegas, they're gonna give a free complimentary glass of champagne when you walk in.
One final game, the Dallas Mavericks winners tonight, 122-109. They hosted the Houston Rockets. I would call that an upset. Anthony Davis, 29 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Jabari Smith Jr., 22 points, 8 rebounds in the loss for the Rockets, who dropped to 15-6. Dallas staying alive this season, improving to 9-16. We are back tomorrow.
When the Warriors played the Cavaliers, that 3-pointer, do you know why they waved that 3 off? Like it was the 99, I believe it was 99-97, and they waved that 3-pointer off, and it was 99-94 at the end of the game. Do you know why they waved that 3? Because if that 3 would have counted, it would have been the Warriors would have still won the game.
Correct.
If that 3-pointer went in, but they waived it, so they took that 3 away.
Before we go, have you the deadline for ordering merch from our store, if you want to get it before Christmas, I believe is December 11th. So you have 5 days to go to our store. If you're watching this on a TV screen, that's the QR code right there. And if you use the promo code DAYS, you get 10% off your purchase. Shardall, how do people spell DAYS to get that discount?
Golden Days. Make sure to subscribe to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
Good job, buddy. Because days, you can all spell that DAYS, right? Like 7 days a week. But it's not spelled like that. You know how it's spelled.
Viewers, make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. And also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 505 subscribers, and I'm 95 subs away from 600. So if your viewers like all of my content, then have them go over there, click that like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you'll never miss out when I post another live video on my channel. When I go to that New Year's Eve party in Vegas, I'm gonna take my mom for a dance because I want to show off all the salsa dancing that I've learned over the years, taking classes every Tuesday. I want to show off to her and see if I can woo her on the dance floor and take her away on the dance floor. Cause you never know. I've been taking dance lessons for a while now, and you never know. I might be the charmer on the dance floor if I put it out there.
You might. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah. So yeah.